I started as the master of Jin Feng's Ayulu, astonishing the world with a single sword. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 476, The Sea Shark Gang, Haiwuaya, surrounded and killed the world leader Bu Yongxiao. Suddenly, the old man surnamed Feng felt that the blood and qi in his body began to drain away instantly, and his qi began to fail to circulate. Why are you not affected by my poison at all? The old man surnamed Feng covered his chest and looked at Bai Tianyu. He was full of poison around him, and the other party absorbed his poison when he attacked and breathed. Maybe I took too many medicines, or maybe your poison is not strong enough, Bai Tianyu said coldly. Someone will help us get revenge. You will die. After the old man surnamed Feng finished speaking, his body fell to the ground. You are too weak. Next, it's Chen. Bai Tianyu's figure disappeared in the courtyard. The next day the drizzle still did not stop. The air around seemed very humid, and there was a breath of spring rain when the breeze blew on the face. The news that the new county magistrate was killed made the whole Longbai County seem a little sudden. In the Great Zhou dynasty, there were many forces in the rivers and lakes, but they also followed certain rules, that is, the chief officer of a county should not be moved. But the new county magistrate was killed as soon as he arrived in Longbai County. This is a bit of a slap in the face of the Great Zhou dynasty. The Ministry of Personnel of the Great Zhou dynasty will definitely be angry about this matter. Some city lords in the Longbai County area, who were originally notified by the new county governor, turned back halfway. The new county governor was killed. There is no need to look at this matter. It involves too much and has nothing to do with him. It is better to avoid it. In a house, Li Chenhao and Liu Yijin were standing in the yard. Some people say that Mo Feng's death was caused by us, Qinglong society. What do you think? Li Chenhao said. I saw the body in the county governor's mansion. It was killed by a swordmaster. His moves were ruthless and extremely fast. It's somewhat similar to the swordsmanship of Ah Fei and Jing Wuming. There shouldn't be such masters in Longbai County. I suspect it might be someone from the World Alliance. Who did it? The leader of the World Alliance has 3 swordsmanship masters. One of them, Mingjin, died under my sword. There are also 2 other swordsmanship masters. One of them is Zijian Kehuadang. His weapon is a sword that sucks people's blood. The other one is Bijijian, Bifengtian. This person is very mysterious. I don't know his age or face, but he is the leader of the 3 swordsmen. His strength should be above Mingjian, who I killed. It's possible that this person is him, Liu Yijin said. Liu Yijin and Zhu Yayan are particularly obsessed with swordsmanship, so when they investigated World Alliance, they paid special attention to the 3 swordsmanship masters under the World Alliance leader. It seems that the sad sword should be in Longbai County, but what is his intention to kill the new county governor? It is unlikely that he will put the blame on us. After all, without real evidence, the Ministry of Personnel of the Great Zhou dynasty will not take action against us, Qinglong society. Li Chenhao frowned slightly and said, I will stay in Longbai County recently to see how the situation develops. You can send a pigeon to the master to tell him about the situation here. It will take a few days for Zhu Yaoran to return to Xiamen. After Li Chenhao got the gloves and the J token from Xiao Bai, he asked Zhu Yaoran to deliver the things to Xiamen and give them to Su Chen. The gloves can help Su Chen increase his strength. Xiamen in a secret room, the lights were on. Su Chen sat cross-legged on a cushion. His naked body was as red as blood. The blood in his body was like boiling water, which raised the temperature of the whole room by a few degrees. All of these rolling blood and qi flowed through the meridians in his body, forming a huge rotating energy that constantly tempered his body. Although Su Chen's qi was improving, it was a bit slow, so he was still increasing his strength and qi, blood and physical body. To be honest, he was under a lot of pressure now. The characters he summoned were powerful, but his own strength was too different from the summoned characters. This was something he didn't want to see. The overlord of any era must be strong. As time went by, qi and blood circulated around him like the ebb and flow of the waves, making a great momentum. This state lasted for a long time before his qi and blood gradually calmed down. Su Chen, who was sitting cross-legged, slowly opened his eyes, and his eyes were full of thoughts. Now my physical body and qi and blood are comparable to the ordinary 7 difficulties of heaven and man, but I am afraid I can't resist the attack of the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. As for the sharp blade, I have the golden silkworm clothes to resist. The overall strength has improved a lot compared to before. There are still some Shinrin pills on me. Taking them myself can also increase my strength. But my strength improvement is already against the sky. Su Chen thought in his heart. After this physical body improvement, he plans to practice Qi for a while, and then continue to improve his physical body and Qi and blood strength. But I still haven't broken through the 7th level of Shanguang. Su Chen felt a little regretful. Compared with the skills he obtained on the system, there is no bottleneck, but before practicing Shanguang of Shan sect, he tried to break through the 7th level of Shanguang, but the result was not satisfactory. Previously, he used the 6th level of Shanguang to enter the realm of heaven and man. Thinking of continuing to improve Shanguang, he found that the 7th level was difficult. Compared with the 6th level of the mountain and river, the 7th level expands his danshan. If the danshan becomes larger, after reaching the 9th level of heaven and man, it will be much stronger than the ordinary warriors of the 9th level of heaven and man. Qijin is still a little worse. It seems that I have to improve Qijin before I can complete the 7th level of Shanguang, Su Chen thought to himself. After a while of breathing, Su Chen stood up and walked out of the secret room. Outside the secret room, a disciple of Shan sect was standing at the door of the secret room. When he saw Su Chen coming out, he stepped forward and said, "Master, when Elder Yuan asked you to come out, go to the Master's Hall, he said that the young leader of the Sea Shark Gang, Hai Wuya, who you promised to meet before, is in the hall." I almost forgot about this. Su Chen's heart moved, and he immediately went to the Master's Hall. After a while, Su Chen stepped into the Master's Hall. In the hall, the young man in blue was talking to Yuan Suyan. When he saw Su Chen stepping into the hall, he immediately stepped forward and bowed. Hai Wuya of the Sea Shark Gang greets Master Su. Hai Wuya has an ordinary appearance, not handsome, nor ugly, but his eyes are different from others, showing blue. "I forgot the time while practicing, Master Hai, please forgive me," Su Chen said. "I disturbed Master Su's practice. I came to see Master Su this time because I actually wanted to cooperate with Master Su, or to say, with the Qinglong Society, behind Master Su, to deal with Xiangshi. Hai Wuya said the purpose of his visit. Xiangshi is the overlord of Lingjiang area, isn't it so easy to deal with? Su Chen walked to the middle chair in the hall and sat down. "It's not easy, so we want to join forces with Qinglong Society," Hai Wuya said. It seems that it's not just you, the Sea Shark Gang, who attacked Xiangshi. Su Chen couldn't help but become interested. "To be honest, my Sea Shark Gang alone has no courage to challenge Xiangshi. My Sea Shark Gang has united with Kahei Lao, Liu Jiabao, Qinchuanmen, Shinaiman, Xianyu Villa and other forces to form an alliance to fight Xiangshi. Together," Hai Wuya said. "Although these forces are good, even if they are added together, they can't beat Xiangshi." Su Chen shook his head. Su Chen has seen the forces in Lingjiang area. "Of course we are far behind, but with the support of the Qinglong Society, I think we can definitely take down the Xiangshi Alliance. What's more, there are people in the Xiangshi Alliance who want to rebel against Bu Yongxiao. As long as we plan well, we can surround and kill the Xiangshi leader Bu Yongxiao. As long as Bu Yongxiao dies, the Xiangshi Alliance will inevitably collapse," Hai Wuya said in a deep voice. Chapter 477 General Wang Dugu's ambition for me. "It seems that you have a plan. The World Alliance has a grudge against us, Qinglong Club, so we naturally hope to deal with the World Alliance together, but after the World Alliance dissipates, what can we, Qinglong Club, get?" Su Chen looked at Hai Wuya and said. "The disputes in the rivers and lakes, grudges and hatreds. Among them, interests are the most important." Hearing Su Chen say this, Hai Wuya's face showed joy. "I want to see what kind of masters the Qinglong Club will send out. If the Qinglong Club can send out masters who can concentrate their minds in the sea, they will naturally be allocated more," Hai Wuya said. "The world leader Bu Yongxiao, who was surrounded and killed, could not be killed without masters who can concentrate their minds in the sea. The World Alliance has been sitting in the Lingjiang area for hundreds of years and has a deep foundation. When Bu Yongxiao took charge of the World Alliance 50 years ago, he turned the World Alliance into the only overlord in the Lingjiang area. Those who did not obey him were killed by him. I don't know, Then how many masters of concentrating their minds in the sea are you going to send out to deal with Yang Xiao? Su Chen looked at Hai Wu Ai and said. He wanted to see the details of Hai Wu Ai's side. We can dispatch 2 sea concentrated masters, 1 Danshan turned into sea, and 3 ordinary Shinran Jiunan masters. One of these 2 sea concentrated masters is my father, and the other is a master who came from the side of the great General Wang. So if we can take down the World Alliance, this time, I will occupy 60% of the benefits, whether it is territory or other things, Hai Wuai said. Hearing Hai Wuai's words, Su Chen was slightly shocked. He didn't expect that the leader of the Sea Shark Gang, who he had not noticed before, could actually reach the strength of Sea Concentrated. This was beyond his expectation. As for the fact that there was a Sea Concentrated master around the great General Wang, Su Chen was not very surprised. If I, Qilin Club, dispatch a Sea Concentrated master, how much can we get? Su Chen said after thinking for a moment. 20%, and the other 20% needs to be given to other allies, Hai Wuai said. Hearing Hai Wuai's words, Su Chen's face changed slightly. Young Master Hai, are you kidding me? If we send out a Sea Concentration master, our Qilin Club will only get 20% of the benefits. You should know that there are also strong and weak Sea Concentration masters. Su Chen didn't expect that the other party took 60%, while he only took 20%. Master Su, although my Sea Shark Gang took 60%, we still have to give 30% to General Wang and 10% to Governor Lingjiang. In fact, our Sea Shark Gang only got 20%, Hai Wuai immediately said when he saw this. You asked the Sea Concentration masters around General Wang to take action, and give 30%, and our Qilin Club will give 20%. Young Master Hai, you are not sincere. If you want our Qilin Club to send out Sea Concentration masters, we also need 40%. Su Chen shook his head. After hearing Su Chen's words, Hai Wuai's face did not change much, but he thought to himself, I didn't expect that the Qilin Club was so greedy that it actually needed 40%. Don't think it's not worth it. If you are sure to kill Bu Yongxiao, you don't need to ask us, Qilin Club, for help. 40% is not much, young Master Hai. If it's 40%, I will definitely persuade the Qilin Club's Master of Sea Concentration to take action. Su Chen did not say that he could send someone if 40% was enough, but that he could persuade him. After hearing what Su Chen said, Hai Wuai pondered and said, I need to contact my father about this matter. I will visit him again when the time comes for the specific follow-up situation. Su Chen made it very clear that he insisted on 40%. He had no say in this matter. So he needed to ask his father. General Manager Yuan, send young Master Hai away. Su Chen did not plan to send Hai Wuai away himself, but asked Yuan Su'in to send Hai Wuai away. Please, Yuan Su'in waved his hand and took Hai Wuai away. The hall became silent. Su Chen knocked on the handle of the wooden chair with his right hand, and the sound of clattering echoed in the hall. The battle between Xiangshi and Qilin Club will happen sooner or later. Now that he has added manpower, as long as he gives himself enough time, he can take down Xiangshi with a thunderous force. In that case, he can take over all the territory of Xiangshi. However, the Sea Shark Gang must have been planning for a long time to move against Xiangshi. Otherwise, they would not think of taking action against Xiangshi. If 2 tigers fight, maybe I can benefit from it. So Su Chen asked for 40% of the benefits. 40% of the benefits means that he will occupy half of it. I am afraid that the Sea Shark Gang and the great General Wang will not be willing. Although the Sea Shark Gang is the main force in this matter, the appearance of people around the great General Wang shows that the great General Wang is involved in the matter of dealing with Xiangshi. Now that the great General Wang Dugu has been transferred back to the capital from the South China Sea, what does he want to do by attacking the Lingjiang area at this time? Su Chen slowly stood up and headed towards the study room at the back of the palace. In the study room, Su Chen unfolded a map of the geographical regions of the Great Zhou dynasty. Check the topography of the Lingjiang area. After reading the topography, Su Chen's eyes lit up. Why is Lingjiang called Lingjiang? It's because they are close to a river called Mangjiang. The Mangjiang River runs through most of the Great Zhou dynasty, starting from the Great Zhou dynasty's frontier and ending in the South China Sea. The 13 counties in the Lingjiang area are on the left end of the Mangjiang River. If you control the Lingjiang area and then control the 13 counties of Kangling on the right end, you can swallow up all the benefits of the northward transportation in the Mangjiang River Basin. What a big deal. I just wonder if the great General Wang in the Kangling area has taken down the city. It seems that Hai Wuai's visit to the negotiation this time is probably just a test. What they ultimately want is definitely the water and land power of the Lingjiang area. The Sea Shark Gang is in charge of the water and land, and no one else can say anything. Maybe they can really agree to my 40% interest, Su Chen thought to himself. After a while, Yuan Suan came to the study and saw the map on the table. He glanced at it unintentionally, his eyes moved slightly. Master, their goal is the control of the water and land in the Lingjiang area. Maybe they can agree to our 40% interest. If they agree, will we really send people to do it? As long as we remain stable for a while, it will not be a problem to take down the World Alliance. Yuan Suan was not very willing to cooperate with the Sea Shark Gang. Although we have occupied the 9 northern counties, we have too few basic personnel in Qinglonghu and Xian'ai Pavilion. Developing basic personnel is not something that can be done overnight, so if they are willing to give 40% of the benefits, let Li Chen's Hao go, Su Chen said. Although there are some people who signed in, they are all masters. Others have too few basic personnel. Except for some disciples drawn by the beggar gang last time, no one else has been drawn. Bai Tianyu of Jinfeng Xiaolao has invested a huge amount of money to train personnel, but the time is too short and the effect is a bit slow. Time. What is lacking is time, Su Chen said in a deep voice. He didn't think about how long he had been here. With such a scale, if others knew, they would definitely be shocked and unbelievable. Chapter 478, Castle in the Air. Su Chen's current team seems to be very strong. But it is only the top level that is strong, and there are too many people at the bottom. There is a lack of backbone. There is a kind of castle in the air phenomenon. However, this phenomenon is inevitable and requires a long time of precipitation. Master, do you want me to go to the Sea Shark Gang to investigate this matter in person? Yuan Suan said. You are not suitable. Let's see the reaction of Hai Wuai first, Su Chen said after thinking for a moment. Although Shangmin is under his control, Shangmin's foundation is too weak. In fact, Su Chen is a little confused. Shan Hogong of Shangmin is a very unusual martial art from now on. With such martial arts, Shangmin should not be too weak. Could it be that after moving to Lingnan County, the qualifications of Shangmin's successive masters are too poor? Su Chen can only attribute it to this point now. Master, according to the itinerary, Zhu Yiren should arrive at Shangmin tomorrow, and I just received information that Mo Feng, who had just arrived in Longbai County, was killed. It is suspected that it was the hand of the sad sort of World Alliance. Yuan Suan informed Su Chen of the news he had just received. Bai Jian, the most mysterious of the 3 sword masters under the seat of the leader of the World Alliance, why did he want to kill Mo Feng? Could it be that the World Alliance has a grudge against the Evil Alliance? Su Chen said. Recently, he studied the World Alliance, and found that the power and strength of the World Alliance were stronger than he imagined. The World Alliance should have no grudge against the Evil Alliance. The 3 dragon heads have been in Longbai County recently to see how things develop, Yuan Suan said. Let's see what the World Alliance wants to do first, but they have lost so many people in a row, I'm afraid they will retaliate against us. The Qinglong Society has no bases in various places, so they can't retaliate even if they want to, but I'm in the Shen Gate, and they may attack my Shen Gate, Su Chen said in a deep voice. Although the Qinglong Society is a castle in the air, it also reflects the benefits of the castle in the air at this moment. I will increase the inspection of the Shen Gate, Yuan Suan said. My strength has been stagnant recently, and I may have to leave Shangmin for a while. I am going to leave the northern 9 counties. When the time comes, you will go with me. Xiao Keishu and Zhu Shenhao will handle the affairs here, Su Chen said. Is the headmaster going to the capital? Yuan Suan said. Now their forces have not made much progress in the capital. Perhaps it is suppressed. If Su Chen goes to the capital, then it will definitely relieve the pressure on the capital. No, not going to the capital for the time being, I am going to the Jiangnan area, Su Chen said. The vortex in the capital is too big. If he goes to the capital, he may be deeply trapped in it. With his current strength, it is not suitable for him to be trapped in it for the time being. How to deal with the matter of the Xiangshe League, Yuan Suyin said in a deep voice. Hai Wui's coming here seems to have been planned for a long time. Once they agree to join forces to deal with the Xiangshe League, I am afraid they will take action soon. After the Xiangshe League's affairs are dealt with, we will set off. But I believe that the three dragon heads are fully capable of solving the Xiangshe League's affairs, Su Chen said. Compared with other people, Li Chenhao is a real overlord-level figure. He leads the Power Gang, the largest force in the Jianghu in Wenshu, which shows his talent. Of course, the most prosperous period of the Power Gang must be the period of Yankuangtu, but it cannot be denied that Li Chenhao is strong. What's more, Li Chenhao, who appeared in this world with a new identity, has a higher level of strength. He believes that even if he faces Bu Yongxiao, the leader of the Xiangshe League, Li Chenhao has the strength to fight. From the information he got, Bu Yongxiao and Li Chenhao belong to the same kind of people. They are equally domineering and use fists to control people. Then let me learn more about the situation in various regions of Jiangnan. Yuan Suyin bowed and left the room. Su Chen is going to Jiangnan, so he has to find out some of the situation in Jiangnan. He must remember the customs of various places, what things there are, and what forces there are. Lingnan County in the county city, in a separate courtyard. Hai Wuya pushed open the door. Inside the house, a man in black was sitting there, drinking, and a black spear was placed on the table in front of him. The spear was deep and cold. This person seemed not to notice Hai Wuya pushing the door, and was busy drinking. Hai Wuya walked up to the man in black and bowed, saying, "Master, Su Chen asked for 40% of the profits of World Alliance, before he could convince the Qinglong Club, SC Focus Strongman to take action." This person was Hai Wuya's master, and also the third best master under the great General Wang, known as the Netherworld Ghost Spear Liu Hiai. Swish! A ray of light flew out of the hand of the drinking black-clothed man, which was a piece of letter paper. Hai Wuya caught the letter paper and checked it out. After checking it out, a trace of horror flashed in his eyes. Xiao Bai, who had just become the second leader of the World Alliance, and the four people under the seat of World Alliance, leader Bu Yongxiao, the famous sword, Grey Spear, Tyrant Sword, and Wine Tyrant, died at the hands of Qinglong Club, Zhu Yiren and Liu Xingyijin. Looking at this information, Hai Wuya couldn't believe it. Hai Wuya was the young leader of the Sea Shark Gang, and knew the strength of these people. Outsiders thought that Xiao Bai suddenly rose to power, but as the young leader of the Sea Shark Gang, he must know something about Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai's strength is at the Danshan Transformation C level. It is rumored that he has a weapon-level weapon that can fight against the strong people in the sea. But now he died in the hands of the Qinglong Society. Xiao Bai died in the hands of Li Chenhao. He was killed by Li Chenhao with a fist. Li Chenhao's strength should have reached the level of concentration in the sea, and Zhu Yiren and Liu Xingyijin are both at the Danshan Transformation C level. We underestimated this, Qinglong Society, before. The man in black put down his wine glass and said in a deep voice. Then master means that he is willing to give them 40% of the benefits, Hai Wuya said. Wuya, our ultimate goal is not for the territory of the Xiangshe League, but the land and water transportation in the Lingjiang area. After 2 days, you will find Su Chen again. 40% of the benefits can be given to them. But the land and water transportation in the Lingjiang area must belong to the Sea Shark Gang, the man in black said. Disciple understands. Disciple will go to Shan Gate in 2 days, Hai Wuya bowed and said. Master, the General King has returned to the capital. Has the capital arranged a position for the General King? Hai Wuya asked. No, but you should not ask about the fighting in the capital. We just need to complete the tasks assigned by the General King. You have to believe in the strength of the General King, the man in black said. Disciple, I believe in the strength of the General King, but why would the capital let the General King return to the capital at this time? Could it be that the 9 princes want to take this opportunity to enter the South China Sea area? Hai Wuya said. The General King has been guarding the South China Sea area for so many years, and he is deeply rooted. Whoever goes there at this time will die. To tell you the truth, the General King guessed that it was not the prince who transferred him back to the capital this time, but it might be Emperor Zhou. Although the man in black said not to ask too much before, he revealed a lot of information. Hearing this, Hai Wuya's face changed slightly, but he didn't ask anything else. It's better not to know if it involves too much. Go back to the Sea Shark Gang. Your strength has not improved. I have nothing to do these 2 days, so I will supervise your training." The man in black looked at Hai Wu Ai and said, "If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels." Chapter 479, The Power Gang's 4 Guardians, by Chao Fei's 10 subordinates, and 300 gang members. Shan Gate in a courtyard. Zhu Yiren handed the things he got from Xiao Bai to Su Chen. Su Chen first checked the gloves. Weapon level weapon Kingsha Blood Refining Hand, reward 1 orange lottery card. This thing is Kingsha Blood Refining Hand. Su Chen carefully checked the effect of this weapon level weapon. After checking, a smile appeared on his face. Not a bad weapon. Then he opened the brocade box containing the jade card, and a mouse-shaped jade card appeared in front of him. He held the jade card with both hands. Zodiac card rat card, reward 2 orange lottery cards. Yes. Zodiac card. Su Chen frowned slightly and checked the information of the Zodiac card rat card. Collect the 12 Zodiac jade cards to obtain 12 illuminating nerves, which can break the heaven gate. Seeing this introduction, Su Chen frowned slightly. To be honest, Su Chen still has a vague concept of the heaven gate. What exactly is this heaven gate? What he got before were all fragments. The 12 lights mentioned this time are complete, and if you cultivate them, you can break the gate of heaven. Something is extraordinary. Put the 12 Zodiac rat cards into the brocade box, and put them into the space ring. Looking back at the 3 orange lottery cards he got this time, plus the one that Su Chen accumulated during this period, he now has 4 orange lottery cards. Su Chen did not keep these 4 orange lottery cards, and drew them directly, obtained the 4 guardians of the Power Gang, obtained 10 subordinates of Bai Chao Fei from the Golden Wind and Rain Tower, obtained 300 ordinary gang members of the Golden Wind and Rain Tower, and obtained 10 Shinrin pills. Seeing this information, Su Chen felt that he had exploded this time. "I didn't expect my luck to be so good," Su Chen said softly. He immediately checked the strength of these people. The strength of the 4 guardians of the Power Gang varies. 2 of them are in the 6th level of Shinrun, and 2 of them are in the 5th level of Shinrun. The strength of Bai Chao Fei's 10 subordinates is even more varied. 7 of them are in the 1st level of Shinrun, and 3 are at the peak of Refining Soul, and the strength of the 300 ordinary gang members are all in the Refining God realm. The strength is not very strong, but it is not ordinary for ordinary gang members to have this strength. It is a little worse than the Beggar's Sect, but it is still okay. Su Chen compared these people with the Beggar's Sect and shook his head. Then he said to Zhu Yiren below, "Mr. Zhu, for the time being, you will stay in the Mountain River Gate to comprehend the fragments of the sword destruction I obtained earlier." Li Chenshao and Liu Sheng Yijian were there in Longbai County, so Zhu Yiren didn't need to come for the time being. He just stayed to comprehend the sword. "Then I will take my leave first." Zhu Yiren bowed and left Su Chen's room. Su Chen changed his clothes, walked out of the Mountain River Gate, came to Valley, summoned by Chao Fei's 10 subordinates and 300 gang members. "Meet the Lord." Everyone in the valley saluted Su Chen. "You wait to hear, someone will come to tell you about some of the situations in this world. After understanding the situation, you will go to the capital and follow your previous building owner Bai Chao Fei," Su Chen said. When they heard Su Chen mention Bai Chao Fei, everyone looked happy. They were all Bai Chao Fei's subordinates. Naturally, they hoped to be under Bai Chao Fei's name again. Earlier, they thought that only they came to this world, but they didn't expect that Bai Chao Fei was also in this world. Swear to be loyal to the master until death. The group knelt down again. Then Su Chen took a look, and 3 of them said, "The 3 of you are at the peak of the soul refining realm. Here are 3 Shinrin pills. Swallow and refine them, and your strength can reach the 1st level of Shinrin." Su Chen just drew 10 Shinrin, and divided 3 to 3 of them. "Thank you, master." The 3 hurried forward to take the Shinrin pill. "Don't leave this valley for the time being. Someone will take you away from the back later." Su Chen then gave an order and turned to leave. This is the forbidden area in the back mountain, and people from the Shan Gate are not allowed to enter it. So he is not afraid of other people knowing. He also has to go back and ask Yuan Su Ain to come over and explain the situation in this world. As for the 4 Dharma protectors under Li Chenshao, Su Chen arranged them in the Shan Gate, waiting for Li Chen's Hao to come back. The action of World Alliance must be taken by Li Chen's Hao. Although Li Chen's Hao killed Xiao Bai, he was not famous enough. If he had killed Bu Yongxiao, the leader of Xiangxia League, then it would have definitely caused a sensation throughout the Great Zhou dynasty. Su Chen, who returned to the Shan Gate, felt a little calm. He felt that there was a shortage of people at the bottom before. Now a group of people have appeared. I believe that after solving the Xiangxia League, some ancient books will be brought back, and then some lottery cards should be obtained. After all, Su Chen has basically read all the classics brought back by Xianxian sect and Zitan Palace. It cannot be said that he has finished reading, but that the triggers have been completed. I am afraid that he will not be able to get lottery cards for the time being. Therefore, conquering Xiangxia League is also a good source of triggers. Su Chen first found Yuan Suiyan and asked him to go to the back mountain to guide him and bring some silver bills. There are more than 300 people in the group, and food, clothing, housing and transportation are all a considerable expense. He returned to the secret room to continue practicing. He still had 7 Shinrin pills left in his hand, which could greatly improve his strength. However, he may have taken too many Shinrin pills, and his realm has been raised to the 5th level of Shinrin, so the effect of Shinrin pills has been somewhat weakened. After refining all 7 Shinrin pills, Su Chen estimated that he would step into the 6th level of Shinrin. At this time, the governor's mansion of the 9 northern counties. When Yifan was sitting in the hall with a frown, a warrior with a sword came in from outside. It was Bai Xiao, the commander of the Northern Pacification Division of Longbai County. Have you found out who killed Mo Feng? When Yifan looked at Bai Xiao standing up and asked. No, the wound is a sword wound, either a sword to the throat or a sword through the heart. The sword scar is very fine, it should be a very fine sword. I haven't found out who used this sword yet, Bai Xiao said. In fact, Bai Xiao had a vague guess in his heart that it might be related to the Xiangxia League. But he didn't dare to say it, because once he said it, he felt that he didn't have the life to check it out. Do you think it has something to do with the Qinglong Society? I think there are only many sword masters in the Qinglong Society in our northern 9 counties. When Yifan saw Bai Xiao say this, and a gleam of light flashed in the depths of his eyes. He stood up and slowly sat down. Hearing this, Bai Xiao frowned slightly and looked at Wen Yifan. When Yifan was looking at him, and the meaning conveyed by his eyes was very clear, that is, he wanted to lead Mo Feng's matter to the Qinglong Society. His heart was shocked. When Yifan had been the governor of the northern 9 counties for such a long time, and there had been no movement, but this time he wanted to move. Mo Feng was a person sent by the Ministry of Personnel, and he died just after taking office. The Ministry of Personnel and their Zhenfu division would send masters to come. If this matter is led to the Qinglong Society, then the masters of the Ministry of Personnel and the Zhenfu division will definitely visit the Qinglong Society. Once the Qinglong Society conflicts with it, it may change the current situation in the northern 9 counties. By diverting the trouble to the east, Wen Yifan can reap the benefits, and it is possible that he will be in charge of the 9 northern counties. It is indeed as you said, among the 9 northern counties, only the Qinglong Society has such a strong swordsman. I will report this to the Ministry of Personnel and the Pacification Office in the capital. Bai Xiao didn't want to mention the World Alliance at this time, so he could only echo Wen Yifan's words. Chapter 480. Nalan Rongyuan leaves Beijing. Someone wants to take action. Capital, Xianjianxi. Murin Qingchen frowned slightly as he looked at the report in his hand. The governor's office and the Northern Pacification Office of the 9 northern counties have not found out who killed the new governor of Longbai County, and they have locked their suspicion on the Qinglong Society. When Yifan and Bai Xiao from the governor's office reported Mo Feng's case to the Ministry of Personnel and the Pacification Office, and they naturally received a copy of the Xianjianxi. Yes, they suspect that it was the Qinglong Society who took action, and recently the Qinglong Society has killed many masters of the Xiangxia League in Longbai County. Kwei, who is wearing yellow clothes, spoke beside Murin Qingchen. While speaking, she told Murin Qingchen what happened in Longbai County. Is the Qinglong Society so powerful? Murin Qingchen showed surprise on his face. Yes, miss, you said that the Qinglong Club has such a strong strength, so why can't Su Chen come to the capital to help you? As the young leader of the Qinglong Club, if I stand on Miss's side, I believe I can help Miss to shock many people. Kwei said with some complaints. Kwei, Su Chen doesn't owe me anything? I felt a little abrupt when I invited him to the capital last time. He is the young leader of the Qinglong Club, and is in charge of the 9 northern counties. How can he leave at will? Murin Qingchen waved his hand and said. Help me keep an eye on this matter. If there is any situation, let me know immediately. I also have a letter here for Su Chen to inform him of the situation here and let him prepare. Murin Qingchen walked to the desk next to him, wrote down the information he got here, put it in an envelope, handed it to Kwei, and asked her to pass it to Su Chen immediately. Longbury County Governor, but the court had just sent him out and he was beheaded. This matter will not end like this. Su Chen still needs to make some preparations. The forces in the martial arts world are great, but the biggest martial arts force in this world is still the Great Zhou dynasty. She doesn't want the Qinglong society, where Su Chen is to confront the Great Zhou dynasty. Yes, Kwei took the envelope and bowed to leave the room. After Kwei left the room, Murin Qingchen frowned slightly. Kwei, who are you? Why did you seduce me to let Su Chen come to the capital? Murin Qingchen murmured in his heart. After Su Chen rejected Murin Qingchen's proposal, Murin Qingchen recalled the course of events and found some problems. Although Su Chen is the young leader of the Qinglong society, he is only the young leader. The strength shown by the Qinglong society before was not very strong. A young leader like Su Chen, coming to the capital, did not help her much. Perhaps it could also put Su Chen in crisis. After all, her brothers in the 9 northern counties had been planning for a long time, and were eventually acquired by the Qinglong society. Su Chen came to the capital, but he had no friends. There were only enemies. Murin Qingchen was a quick thinker, so she quickly suspected Kwei. But she didn't find out who she belonged to. Cheyenne Jianxi. Then Murin Qingchen looked at the plaque behind her, on which were written the 3 words Cheyenne Jianxi. My power is still small, and it's a little difficult to take charge of Cheyenne Jianxi. Is this the reason why Zhu Pingsheng chose me? Murin Qingchen sighed. After taking charge of Cheyenne Jianxi for such a long time, she already knew her situation in Cheyenne Jianxi. There were very few resources that could be mobilized. It seems that I have to find Bai Tianyu in private, Murin Qingchen thought to himself. At this time, on the other side, in the Feng Tower, Bai Tianyu's face was full of smiles. Master, it seems that there is something good. Nalan Ronggyan looked at Bai Tianyu and said. Under the operation of Bai Tianyu, Feng Tower temporarily blocked the erosion of other forces, but due to the lack of manpower, they were still in a relatively suppressed state. Of course it's good news. After the 2 pavilion masters returned, they sent me my previous 10 subordinates, and also sent me 200 gang members from Feng Tower. Do you think my Feng Tower has all the manpower? Bai Tianyu said. Hearing Bai Tianyu's words, Nalan Ronggyan's face also showed joy. To be honest, Feng Tower lacks too many people. The previous team simply cannot adapt to the power structure of the capital. If Cheyenne Pavilion sent Bai Tianyu's 10 subordinates and 200 gang members to garrison in Feng Tower at once, then this would be the real Feng Tower. I don't know their strength, Nalan Ronggyan asked softly. The 10 subordinates are all in the realm of heaven and man, and the 200 gang members are in the realm of refining spirit, Bai Tianyu said. Shinran Yinan, refining spirit. Hearing this, Nalan Ronggyan's face showed joy. Although this is the capital, Shinran Yinan is also very strong as a team. It will probably take them half a month to get here. We still need to stabilize during this period. By the way, how is Mr. Shengwen's progress recently? Bai Tianyu has been getting close to Ninjinlin and connecting with the eldest prince recently, so he has paid too much attention to Shengwen Jinhong's affairs. All the silver has been robbed, and Jin Yuding's left-hand man Wei Xinggan has been successfully eliminated, and Mr. Shengwen has also connected with the 12th prince and is conspiring with a money gang. It is estimated that it will not be long before Jin Yuding's right-hand man Yu Yunhei of the money gang will also disappear, Nalan Ronggyan said. Is that so? It seems that their plan is underway. You should also start to go to Jiangnan secretly, establish contact with gang leader Qiao as soon as possible, so that we will have intelligence information about the Jiangnan region for the time being, Bai Tianyu said. Yes, Nalan Ronggyan was originally thinking about going to Jiangnan. Don't expose your tracks when you go there. The beggar gang in the Jiangnan region may have attracted the attention of the Lai family and other forces, Bai Tianyu ordered. I will be careful. I will leave with Mr. Ling and Mr. Bai today, Nalan Rongayan said and left, preparing to go to Jiangnan. Nalan Rongayan simply packed up, and then left the Golden Wind and Rain Tower with Ling Hushan and Bai Tianyu, heading towards the east of the capital. Opposite the Golden Wind and Rain Tower, in an inn, a middle-aged man with a stern face and a green robe was looking at the carriage leaving the Golden Wind and Rain Tower. His eyes were sharp. The man's palm was unusually large, and it was obvious that he had great skills. Nalan Rongayan of the Golden Wind and Rain is Bai Tianyu's confidant. If we capture her, we may know more about the Golden Wind and Rain Tower. I didn't expect that I would get such a reward by accidentally coming here, the middle-aged man said coldly. Master Qin, we are not fighting with the Golden Wind and Rain Tower now. If we capture Nalan Rongayan, I'm afraid, a man beside him said. As long as no one is exposed, who'll know it was us who took action? The Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower has a shallow foundation, and Nalan Rongayan has not yet reached the Heavenly Man realm. Moreover, we investigated, and found no other Heavenly Man realm masters in the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower except Bai Tianyu, the man called Master Qin spoke. Bai Tianyu and Ling Hushan had only been in the capital for a short time, and as there was no need to take action, they had been practicing hard in the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower during this period. The outside world did not know about the existence of these two people. Chapter 481, Chu Xiantang, Qin Zhang, cut off his arm with one knife, killed with one punch. It is not appropriate to take action inside the city. We will take action outside the city. This time, we will capture Nalan Rongayan. I will ask the chief hall master for your credit, the hall master Qin said. Their faction is called Chu Xiantang. There are 10 halls in the capital. The hall master Qin is one of them. His name is Qin Zhang. Behind this, Chu Xiantang, the 7th Prince Liu is attached. The link between Liu and the Taoist sect, Taixu Taoist, died in Lingnan County. It has something to do with Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. When Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower entered the capital, he wanted to deal with Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, but the death of Princess Danyang made him unable to deal with it for a while. Recently, Princess Danyang died, and the investigation led to the Duke of Zhangguozim and Liang, which made him feel that the matter was difficult and he did not move for a while. Later, Nai Chong, the son of King Liu, was killed, which made King Liu furious. He wanted to personally investigate the matter between Nai Chong and Princess Danyang. For a while, he had a gap, so he set his sights on Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. Yes, Hall Master, the eyes of the group of people behind him were cold. They didn't care who Nalan Rongayan was, they cared about the reward. Although, Yidi, and Rifu, of the North Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion, behind Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, were very strong, there was a rumor that Yidi and Rifu had left the capital. Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower no longer had such a strong deterrent power. Leave secretly, don't let the spies of Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower find out anything, Qin Zhang said. A group of people left one after another. The streets of the capital were already crowded, and they were heading towards the city gate from another street. The east gate of the city. In the large carriage, Nalan Rongayan, Ling Hushan and Bai Tianyu squatted in it. Ling Hushan sat cross-legged, and Bai Tianyu held his magic knife. Now his strength is constantly improving, and the spiritual connection between him and the magic knife is getting stronger and stronger. As for Nalan Rongayan, she was looking at the book in her hand. The combination was a bit strange. It seemed that they did not interfere with each other. The carriage moved forward for a while. Suddenly it stopped, and the expressions of the three people in the carriage changed slightly. Get down, a low voice came out, and then the driver was sucked away by a huge force. Ling Hushan's eyes condensed in the carriage, and he rushed out of the carriage directly, grabbed the driver in his hand. Then he put him back into the carriage and looked at the group of people blocking the carriage. There were 15 people in the group. The leader had an unusual aura. He was in the Heavenly Man realm. There was another person at the peak of the soul refining realm. The others were just condensed spirit warriors. Seeing this, Ling Hushan sneered, stepped on the ground, and shut out. Boom, he punched the leader. The leader's eyes condensed. He didn't expect that there were other people in the carriage. From the momentum of the other party's attack, he knew that the other party's strength was in the Heavenly Man realm. The longsword in his hand slashed out instantly. Ling Hushan punched out, turned his body to avoid the sword, and after dodging the sword, he rushed into the crowd behind him like a wolf or a tiger. When Leng Hushan and Bai Tianyu went from Lingnan to the capital, Su Chen gave them a lot of silver and elixirs. On the way, the two of them practiced hard and their strength increased rapidly. Leng Hushan had already reached the third level of heaven and man from the state of unity of spirit and soul, and was about to hit the fourth level of heaven and man. Bang! 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 Ah! Corpses were blown away by the fist. 14 corpses lay neatly in a row, and finally Leng Hushan looked at Qin Zhong with cold eyes. I can't see your strength clearly, but the group of men you brought are too rubbish. Leng Hushan looked at the other party and said coldly. Qin Zhong's eyes were angry at this time. He drew his sword to greet Leng Hushan, but he didn't expect Leng Hushan to kill his men first. These men were all brought out by him casually. Originally, with his strength, it would not be a problem to capture Nalan Rongayan. These men were only responsible for escorting people. But unexpectedly, they were all killed by Leng Hushan at once. Who are you? I didn't find your information in the data of Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. Qin Zhong looked at Leng Hushan and said. Although the aura of this man was not as good as his, but there was a considerable power fluctuation coming from his body. Leng Hushan, a guest official of the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, Leng Hushan and his men were defined as guests in the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. They did not obey anyone and only assisted by Chao Fei in handling things. Leng Hushan, Qin Zhong frowned slightly. He had never heard that there were guests in the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. He felt that he was a little reckless this time, but since he had already made a move, there was no need to say more. No matter who you are, I will kill you today and take Nalan Rongayan away. While speaking, he raised the long sword in his broad palm and slashed at Leng Hushan with the sword. His sword technique was extremely sharp. The strength of the 5 difficulties of heaven and man burst out from his body. Boom! The sword aura, coupled with the aura, suppressed Leng Hushan. Leng Hushan's eyes narrowed. The aura of the opponent suppressed him a little. But he still punched. With the strength of the 3 difficulties of heaven and man, can you take my sword? Seeing this, Qin Zhong snorted coldly. He didn't believe that Leng Hushan could take his sword. Of course, the sword was just a way for him to confuse his opponent. His real strength was his palm skills. Boom! The sword energy collided with the fist energy, and Leng Hushan was shocked back several steps. His feet were inserted on the ground before he stabilized his body. However, when the two of them fought just now, the fist wind and sword energy also blew away the black cloth in front of the opponent. In the carriage, Nalan Rongayan, who was observing outside, saw the face of the other party and his face changed slightly. Mr. Bai, the one who intercepted us was Qin Zhong, one of the 10 Huals of Chu Xiantang. His strength was in the 5th difficulty of heaven and man, and he was about to step into the 6th difficulty of heaven and man. He practiced a kind of skill called Yin Sha Tiger Palm. His sword skills are probably to cover up people's ears, Nalan Rongayan said. Looking outside, he was a little worried. Touching the long sword, Bai Tianyu looked out the window, and a light flashed in his eyes. But he did not attack immediately. Leng Hushan was repelled, and a trace of blood appeared on his fist, but his eyes were shining. He rushed out violently and continued to punch. The aura on his fist formed a storm that enveloped Qin Zhong. The last knife didn't kill you. This knife will kill you. Swish. This time, Qin Zhong's long sword was extremely fast, passing through the fist shadow and heading towards Leng Hushan's heart at an incredible angle. Seeing this, Leng Hushan's internal energy surged and formed an aura. Block this knife. But at this time, Qin Zhong's eyes flashed a sneer. His palm suddenly broke away from the long sword, and then his palm spread out, and he slapped Leng Hushan's head. But when his palm attacked, a terrifying knife intent suddenly spread out, and his figure suddenly paused. At this time, Bai Tianyu's figure disappeared in the carriage. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of the other party. Avicideo slashed out with 3 swords. Qin Zhong, who had slapped out, had both his hands chopped off. He let out a miserable cry. Leng Hushan, who had originally returned his fist to block the long sword, punched out. Bang! Qin Zhong flew backwards, his chest collapsed, and he died tragically on the spot. Chapter 482, Murin Qingzhen's cooperation. The Ministry of Personnel is stronger than the Pacification Department. He died not unjustly. He had been nurturing for such a long time. It was his honor to kill him with 1 sword. Bai Tianyu looked at the other party, walked forward, and inserted the long sword in his hand into the other party's heart. The blood flowed from the other party's body into the long sword. This was an ability of the magic sword that Bai Tianyu discovered on the way to the capital. Perhaps it was because his strength increased and the connection between him and the magic sword increased that the original characteristics of the magic sword were triggered. The corpse quickly shrank, like an old man with dry bones. The other 14 people were drawn blood in the same way. After the absorption was completed, the magic sword flashed a scarlet light, and a force poured into Bai Tianyu's body. I will go back and refine these powers first. After saying this, Bai Tianyu returned to the carriage. Nalan Rongyuan had been paying attention to the battle outside. Seeing this situation, her eyes moved slightly. Whether it was Ling Hushan, Bai Tianyu, or Bai Chaofei, the strength of these people increased too fast. When we go to other places, we will change horses and leave. This way we can speed up our arrival in Jiangnan, Nalan Rongyuan said after Bai Tianyu and Ling Hushan came in. The coachman continued to drive the carriage and left quickly. After arriving at a post station, Nalan Rongyuan and the others changed into black clothes and rode away secretly. Capital, Golden Wind and Rain Tower. Bai Chaofei looked at the information sent back by Nalan Rongyuan and frowned slightly. Chu Xiantang, Qinzhong, it seems that the 7th prince is settling accounts in the autumn harvest, Bai Chaofei murmured. But this, Chu Xiantang, is not ordinary. The chief hall master has a strength of Shinren Jiunan and is in seclusion to impact the Danshan Huahei. Among the 10 hall masters, one of them has a strength of Shinren Jiunan. My current strength is very different from theirs. If I fight, I will be a little weak, Bai Chaofei said in a deep voice. Although the master has added some basic personnel to me, I can't use the high-end combat power here, which is still a bit inconvenient. It seems that I still have to apply to the master for a master to come, at least a Shinren Jiunan, otherwise, it will become more and more difficult for me later, Bai Chaofei said in his heart. But after thinking for a moment, Bai Chaofei did not write a letter to Su Chen. If there was someone on the master's side, he should have sent someone to Jinfeng Xiaoyu Tower. The owner of the building. At this time, a voice came from outside the door. Come in, what's the matter, Bai Chaofei said. Someone outside wants to see the owner of the building. The person who came in handed over a jade card. Seeing this jade card, Bai Chaofei's eyes condensed. Please let someone in immediately, Bai Chaofei said. But in his heart, he thought, why did Murin Qingchen suddenly come to him? A moment later, a man in a black windbreaker walked in from outside. Seeing this, Bai Chaofei frowned slightly, waved his hand to let his men leave, and closed the door. Inside the room, Murin Qingchen took off his black windbreaker. Hello, Miss Murin, please sit down. Murin Qingchen had a relationship with Su Chen, so Bai Chaofei was very polite to Murin Qingchen. Master Bai, you don't have to be so polite. I came here this time to cooperate with you. It's my cooperation. Not the cooperation with the Xianjian division, Murin Qingchen said after sitting down. Miss Murin, I don't understand your position in the Xianjian division. It seems that you don't have control over the Xianjian division. This is also the reason why I didn't cooperate with Miss Murin before. Murin Qingchen made it clear, and Bai Chaofei didn't hide it either, and said, I really don't have control over the Xianjian division. Today, the Xianjian division is still under the control of the previous head of the division, Zhu Pingshen. I think this is why he chose me, because my foundation is shallow and can't throw his position, but I still have some power here. The royal family can't be relied on, and I still have people from my mother's family to use. My surname is Murin, and I follow my mother's surname. I believe you should understand the strength of the Murin family, Murin Qingchen said. Miss Murin, I know the strength and power of the Murin family, but it seems that the Murin family does not seem to support you in the 4th prince. Bai Chaofei said if the Murin family fully supports the 4th prince, then the 4th prince's momentum should be stronger, rather than appearing a little weak. They don't support my 4th brother, but they will support me because of the change of surname Murin. But I have never used the power of the Murin family. I can use the power of the Murin family. Even my 4th brother and my father don't know, except for the head of the Murin family. Mr. Bai is the first person to know, Murin Qingchen said. Is that so? I don't know how Miss Murin plans to cooperate. Bai Chaofei heard this information and his heart moved slightly. He did not ask why Murin Qingchen could use the power of the Murin family. This is a secret between Murin Qingchen and the Murin family. I want to ask you to help me kill a person, such as Lan Qingjiao, the deputy chief of the Xianjian division. Killing him will remove a nail that Zhu Pingsheng has nailed in the Xianjian division, Murin Qingchen said. Lan Qingjiao, Zhu Pingsheng's eldest disciple, is in the realm of heaven and man. To be honest, I really want to help Miss Murin, but now I can't do it with the strength of Golden Wind and Rain Tower. The two pavilion masters have left and returned to Xianaya Pavilion, Bai Tianyu said after hearing this. The two pavilion masters have returned to Xianaya Pavilion. If you ask for instructions, how long will it take? I am willing to give you some special files in Xianjianxi, Murin Qingchen said. Murin Qingchen didn't have much money, and Bai Tianyu might not be interested, but she believed that Bai Tianyu would be interested in some files in Xianjianxi. Hearing Murin Qingchen's words, Bai Tianyu's eyes flashed. He knew too little about some of the secrets of the Great Zhou dynasty. If he could get information from Xianjianxi, it would be a good thing for him. However, he didn't have much relationship with Murin Qingchen, so Bai Tianyu was somewhat wary. Miss Murin, why don't you use the power of the Murin family? With the power of the Murin family, it should be no problem to kill Lan Qingjiao, Bai Tianyu asked doubtfully. The power of the Murin family cannot be used for the time being. There are some grievances between the Murin family and my father. If I use it now, I am afraid that some people will pass the word to my father. I moved Lan Qingjiao. In fact, I also want to see Zhu Pingsheng's actions, see if Zhu Pingsheng is under the command of my father, Murin Qingchen said. Miss Murin, are you saying that Emperor Zhou is still controlling the Xianjian division, and Emperor Zhou is not in seclusion? Hearing this news, Bai Tianyu frowned slightly. I don't know, so I want to test it, Murin Qingchen said. Is that so? I will send a pigeon to Xianaya Pavilion. How can I contact Miss Murin then? 10 days later, I will come to Golden Wind and Rain Tower again. The people around me cannot be trusted, so I can only come in person, Murin Qingchen said. Okay, Bai Tianyu nodded. By the way, you and Su Chen are friends, so tell him that this Hanfu division and the Ministry of Personnel should send people to Longbai County to investigate the murder of the new county magistrate. Tell him not to have a conflict with him. The Ministry of Personnel is actually more powerful than this Hanfu division. After saying that, Murin Qingchen put on his cloak, turned around and left. Chapter 483, Bai Tianyu's linkage, Chu Xiantang, Chu Xianba. The Ministry of Personnel is stronger than the Pacification Division. Bai Tianyu looked at Murin Qingchen's back as he left, his eyes narrowed slightly. The structure of the Great Zhou dynasty was mainly a system of 3 provinces and 6 ministries, with local governors and county magistrates, mixed with some other special departments. The Ministry of Personnel was in charge of the promotion of officials in the Great Zhou dynasty and held great power. This world is not a place ruled by literati, but military force determines everything. That is to say, if you want to become an important official in the Ministry of Personnel, you must have strength and literary talent. The literati in the world have many powers, especially those with military force. So the Ministry of Personnel is very strong. Bai Tianyu has no doubt at all. In order to avoid the fear of the Great Zhou dynasty, Jin Feng's Iyu Tower only did some simple collection in the collection of important officials of the court. There was no in-depth investigation. Jin Feng's Iyu Tower was very lacking in this area. When my people arrive, I should start the infiltration plan, and I have to secretly gather with Murin Fu and Mr. Shengwen to coordinate the layout of the capital, Bai Tianyu said in his heart. The strength of the capital was beyond his expectation. He could not turn the tide by himself, so he needed to unite with other people in the capital. Then he came to a bird cage and took out 2 palm-sized gray birds from the cage. This is a special bird in this world called Huheo. It can transmit messages over short distances. It is very secretive. Of course, it is also difficult to train. Nal and Rongyant spent a long time to train it. Bai Tianyu took out a piece of white paper and just wrote two combinations, and sent it out by 2 Huheo. The people in Jinfeng's Iyu Tower are probably also under surveillance now, so they can only transmit in this way. After all, he can't let Murin Fu and Shengwen Jinhuang know about his Jinfeng's Iyu Tower. On the other side, Chu Xiantang, main hall. The crowd gathered, the atmosphere was serious, and there was an invisible pressure. The people in Jinfeng's Iyu Tower killed the head of Qin Zhong. What do you think about this? Chu Xianba, the head of Chu Xiantang, who was sitting on the first seat, looked indifferent and looked at a shriveled corpse lying in the hall. The body was blurred and its original appearance could not be seen, but the identity of this person could be identified from his clothes in other places. Moreover, the news that Qin Zhong went to intercept Nalan Rongyuan had been reported back to the hall. Headmaster, Jin Feng's Iyu Tower dared to kill the master of our, Chu Xiantang, which was a declaration of war against us. We, Chu Xiantang, should fight back, Xianmeng Hall Master Lu Bao said. Lu Bao had a sturdy figure, with a huge green python tattoo on his exposed arm, and a huge wave of blood and energy emanated from his body. You mean to attack Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower? Do you know who is in Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower? Now, of the two people who attacked this time, one is good at using a knife, and the knife can also suck blood, and the other one punched. I checked the injuries. Qin Zhong should have had his arms cut off by a knife, and then he was killed by a punch. The knifeman's knife skills are sharp. If he attacks Qin Zhong, he should be able to kill him with one knife. From this point of view, there should be other masters of the Heavenly Man realm in Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. Tell me who these two people are. Chu Xianba looked at a man in brocade clothes in the hall. The head of Foreign Affairs Hall, Duan Muqing. Foreign Affairs Hall is the hall in Chu Xiantang that investigates external intelligence. Normally, if they want to deal with Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, Foreign Affairs Hall needs to investigate Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower intelligence clearly. The capital is different from the outside. If you attack without investigation, it is reckless. In the capital, if you are reckless, then you will be the first to disappear. Master, I haven't found out any information about these two people. They probably haven't made any moves. They have been in the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. Master, I will find out the information about these two people within 3 days, the man in brocade clothes, Duan Muqing, said immediately. Okay, I'll give you 3 days. Not only must you find out who these two people are, but you must also find out if there are any other masters in the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, Chu Xianba said in a deep voice. Hearing Chu Xianba's words, Duan Muqing nodded immediately. I will do my best to find out within 3 days. He didn't refuse. He knew that Chu Xianba didn't like others to deny his decision. So he just said that he would try his best to find out within 3 days. This matter has to be handed over to Master Duan Mu. You all go down. Take Qin Zhong's body away. I will announce the position of Master Qin Zhong in 1 day. Chu Xianba waved his hand. Everyone got up and said goodbye. Chu Xianba was responsible for all matters of Chu Xiantang. It can be said that his words were final. After everyone left, a figure walked out from the darkness. He was thin and had a pretty face. He was wearing a green gown, with his hair draped over his shoulders. He had a deep aura and his ki was restrained, making it impossible for people to see through his strength. What do you think about this matter? Qin Zhong is a little arrogant. Even if Yudi and future have Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower leave, it doesn't mean that there are no other masters in Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. Now the people in the capital haven't tried to attack Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. This time we attacked Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, which was a little rash, and also helped others to test Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. What's more, we rely on the 7th Prince, but we are not working for him. If the 7th Prince can't pay the corresponding price, we don't need to target Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. The man in green was Chu Xianba's think tank named Lu Huayan. It's like a vanguard. You should go meet the 7th Prince in person about a matter of the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. I want to see what the 7th Prince thinks. If he gives us considerable benefits, why can't we fight with a Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower? Chu Xianba said in a deep voice. The news that the people of the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower killed Qin Zhong will soon spread in the capital. This is not a favorable clue for them, Chu Xiantang. So in the end they will have to fight with a Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. So if the 7th Prince can give them enough benefits, he is willing to be the vanguard. Headmaster. The Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower is a force of the North Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion. If we want to take action against the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, then we must not only guard against the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, but also guard against the North Pavilion behind him, or the entire Xianaya Pavilion. I suggest that we should not confront the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower head-on for the time being, and focus on investigation, Lu Huayan said in a deep voice. But they killed our people. If they don't explain this to the people in the hall, I'm afraid the people in the hall will be uneasy, Chu Xianba said in a deep voice. Our people died on the way to intercept Nalan Rongyuan. We only need to kill Nalan Rongayan to consolidate people's hearts. What's more, Nalan Rongayan left the city at this time. I'm afraid there is something important. Maybe we will make a big discovery. After meeting the 7th prince, I will personally lead people to track Nalan Rongayan. After I leave the city, I can spread this news and see the reaction of Jinfeng Xiaoyu Tower, Lu Huayan said in a deep voice. Chapter 484 Murin Fu's 8 Difficulties, Shangwen Jinhong, Madame Tianyu. Okay, you will handle this matter, Chu Xianba said. He didn't need to do these things. Master, I'll go and deal with things first. After that, Lu Huayan merged into the darkness again. In the hall, there was only Chu Xianba. The capital has changed a lot now, and the dispute between the 9 emperors has become a little simple and confusing. Whose hand is this? Chu Xianba murmured. Another place. Murin Fu's courtyard. In a secret room, Murin Fu sat cross-legged in a medicine barrel, and the whole medicine barrel was like boiling water, gurgling. One after another, the medicinal power was constantly pouring into his body, forming a series of qi in his body. He got some elixirs from the 12th prince, plus the silver notes sent by Yuan Suan. In order to make reasonable use of these things, he exchanged them for medicinal baths, so that he could better absorb the medicinal power and improve his strength. Qiao Feng appeared, with strong strength. He and Qiao Feng were called Muring in the south and Qiao Feng in the north. Now there is a big gap between him and Qiao Feng, so he works harder to improve his own cultivation. Murin Fu has a strong aptitude. With the use of these medicines, his strength has reached the 7 difficulties of heaven and man. Previously, he asked Yuan Suan to find some exercises for him. A few days ago, Yuan Suan sent him a book called Purple Thunder Power. This kind of exercise not only tempers the body, but also condenses thunder power. Murin Fu practices in the secret room whenever he has time. He is making rapid progress. Tonight, he wants to use the last level of Purple Thunder Power, the 9th level, Purple Thunder Fusion, to break through to the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. The Purple Thunder Power in his body is running, and a layer of purple lightning appears on his body surface. Soon, the inside of the medicine barrel became clear, and the medicine power was completely absorbed by him. Xiao Royan, who was standing not far away, immediately put the previously prepared medicine liquid into the medicine barrel. Then he stood aside and stared at Murin Fu's state closely. After absorbing 3 barrels of medicine power in a row, a surging force appeared in Murin Fu's body, like an angry dragon turning over a river. Boom! A huge amount of energy burst out from Murin Fu's body. My lord, this is a breakthrough. Not far away, Xiao Royan's eyes showed joy. Murin Fu opened his eyes and began to restrain his breath. He got up from the wooden barrel. Xiao Royan immediately stepped forward to put on Murin Fu's robe. Congratulations, my lord, Xiao Royan said. You are a genius. You have crossed several realms in such a short period of time. Ordinary people can't compare, Xiao Royan said. I am not comparing to ordinary people. Murin Fu put on his clothes and walked out of the secret room. Murin Fu has not told Xiao Royan about the beggar's sect yet. She only knows that Shangwen Jinhuang and Bai Chao Fei of Jinfeng Xiai Lao. Murin Fu's comparison in his heart is that Qiao Feng's strength is very different now. The two walked out of the secret room and came to the lobby. At this time, a gray and white man appeared in front of Murin Fu quickly. Murin Fu stretched out his hand, and the gray and white man fell into his palm. He checked the note. Together. Murin Fu waved his hand, and the gray man left quickly, and the white paper in his palm was shattered by him. I will go out tomorrow. You can arrange the affairs in the palace. If the 12th prince has something to do, just say that I am in seclusion, Murin Fu said. Yes, Xiao Royan responded. It seems that Bai Chao Fei is in crisis, otherwise he would not let us meet him. Did anything happen outside today? Murin Fu asked. Nalan Rongayan left the capital and met people from Chu Xiantang after leaving the city, but no one from Chu Xiantang left alive, Xiao Royan said. The power of the 7th prince of Chu Xiantang, the 7th prince wants to cause trouble for Golden Wind and Rain Tower. He doesn't care about the affairs of Princess Danyang, Murin Fu couldn't help but say. Recently, it is rumored that King Liu is personally investigating the affairs of Princess Danyang and Mo Chong, and the 7th prince seems to be excluded. I haven't found out whether this is the case, Xiao Royan replied. Is that so? If it is really the king of Liu who is investigating personally, Then I am afraid that the king of Liu will break with his 7th prince, but it is a bit strange. If the king of Liu breaks with his 7th prince, then he should be more low-key. Why would he move the Golden Wind and Rain Tower at this time? Muren Fu frowned slightly, a little puzzled. But he did not talk about it in depth. He wanted to meet Bai Tianyu and talk about it later. You go and rest first. I will go to the study to sit for a while, Muren Fu said to Xiaoruan. He needs to understand the situation in the capital. In addition to military force, he needs to know more. There are many masters of military force in the capital. You may encounter them if you are not careful. Money Gang. In a house not far away, Shangwen Jinhong is drinking alone. In order not to expose his relationship with Shangwen Jinhong, Jing Wuming only meets Shangwen Jinhong in secret. Late at night, Shangwen Jinhong is drinking alone, thinking about something in his mind. Shangwen Jinhong just killed Jin Yuding's left arm, but he didn't make much profit. Of course, he didn't care about these. Recently, he wanted to enter a secret vault of the Money Gang. There was a pill called Buyuan Den in the secret vault. This pill, with the help of Jinyuan grass, can improve the power of the Tianren realm. Shangwen Jinhong has secretly collected Jinyuan grass, and now he's thinking about how to get the Buyuan Den. Shangwen Jinhong has been here for a while, and his strength has been improved to the 7 difficulties of Tianren. With his double rings, he can defeat ordinary Tianren 8 difficulties masters. With my current qualifications in the Money Gang, it is impossible to get the Buyuan Den. I can only sneak in and steal the Buyuan Den, but there are masters in the secret vault, so it's a bit difficult to enter, Shangwen Jinhong said secretly. Brother Shangwen, why are you drinking alone here? Is there anything I can help you with? A figure sounded outside the courtyard. Then a charming woman in a black gauze dress landed in front of Shangwen Jinhong. When the woman fell, Shangwen Jinhong couldn't help but look at her. The woman had a beautiful and slender figure, and her body was exquisite and well-proportioned. When she moved, she gave people a very charming feeling. Shangwen Jinhong's eyes roamed over her, and then he took another sip of wine. Madam Yu, why are you here? Shangwen Jinhong said. Shangwen Jinhong's name in the Jiqian gang was Shangwen He. The charming woman who appeared in front of him was a manager in the Jiqian gang, known as Madam Yu. Of course, she also had a nickname, Madam Tianyu. Chapter 485 Shangwen Jinhong's ambition. The Money Gang plans to speed up. Madam Yu, who had fallen, looked at Shangwen Jinhong with a strange look in her eyes. The entire Jiqian gang, whether they were afraid of her or admired her, would emit a kind of fiery flame in their eyes when they saw her. It can be said that these people were interested in and ambitious about her. Only Shangwen He was an exception. Although he was interested in her and would also cruise around her, he did not have that kind of extreme possessiveness. And there was a kind of aura on Shangwen He, a kind of aura that attracted her very much. Brother Shangwen, I don't know why you are drinking alone here. Can you tell me? Madam Yu sat opposite Shangwen Jinhong and poured herself a glass of wine. I want to help the inner secret library replenish the Yuandan and improve my strength, but I can't get it. Shangwen Jinhong did not hide her intentions. It is not a bad thing for a person to be ambitious sometimes to expose it. Especially in this world where warriors are respected. The strong make the rules. Ambition can make people stronger. Hearing Shangwen Jinhong's words, Madam Yu's beautiful eyes moved slightly, but she was not surprised. The Yuan replenishing pills in the secret vault of the Money Gang are wanted by anyone who has reached the Heavenly Man realm or above. This is no secret. I don't know how I can help Brother Shangwen. Madam Yu's tone was very calm, and her eyes looked at Shangwen Jinhong. I want to enter the secret vault and steal the Yuan replenishing pills. Shangwen Jinhong looked at Madam Yu, and a light flashed in his eyes. Steal the Yuan replenishing pills. This time, Madam Yu's expression moved. She didn't expect Shangwen Jinhong to want to steal the secret vault of the Money Gang. Your idea is very bold. Although the gang leader is now in seclusion and the leader of the Jin gang is in charge of the Money Gang, although his strength is not high, there are Heavenly Man 9 difficulties warriors in the secret vault. You can't sneak in with your strength, even if you cause internal strife in the Money Gang, or a strong enemy comes to attack, the strong guards of the secret vault will not leave, Madam Yu said. What about poisoning? I think you should have a poison that can poison the warriors of the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. Shangwen Jinhong looked at Madam Yu and said, Brother Shangwen, you want my help. There is poison, but the guards in the secret vault never come out, so it is difficult to poison. Their food is checked by a special person in the gang, so it is difficult to poison, Madame Yu said. No matter how rigorous the layout is, there is a chance. It just depends on whether you are willing to do it, Shangwen Jinhong said in a deep voice. I can help you, but I hope you can help kill someone with your strength in the future. As long as you help me kill him, I am willing to do anything for you, Madame Yu looked at Shangwen Jinhong after she finished speaking. Help you kill someone, but I just know that the leader of the Jin Yuding gang likes you very much. If you ask him for help, he will order the people of the money gang to help you. Shangwen Jinhong looked at Madame Yu with interest. In the money gang, although Madame Yu is beautiful, she is also a forbidden delicacy, because Jin Yuding of the money gang likes her very much. He can't do the person I want to kill, Madame Yu said. Then tell me, who do you want to kill? Shangwen Jinhong said in a deep voice. Jin Fihong, the leader of the money gang. Madame Yu's tone was filled with fear, and her body trembled a little, as if she was very afraid of Jin Fihong, the leader of the money gang. But at this time she tried her best to control her emotions. Of course, her eyes were also closely fixed on Shangwen Jinhong. Shangwen Jinhong's face was only slightly surprised, and then he became very calm. He could see from the other party's expression that there was something between Madame Yu and Jin Fihong. Okay, I came to the money gang just to become the leader of the money gang, and Jin Fihong must be eliminated, Shangwen Jinhong said calmly. Hearing Shangwen Jinhong's words, Madame Yu's face showed surprise. She didn't expect Shangwen Jinhong to want to replace Jin Fihong and become the leader of the money gang. Do you know that Jin Fihong's strength is at the level of Danchin turning into sea? This time he was in seclusion thinking about breaking through to the sea concentration, but I know that his seclusion was not very smooth, and there should be a backlash, Madame Yu said. How do you know that he encountered a backlash? Shangwen Jinhong asked in confusion. Because recently, the medicine slaves he trained before were sent to the secret room one by one. I am also one of the medicine slaves, but I am still a little useful now, and my strength has just broken through to Xian'ai, but if his backlash is too much, I will die, Madame Yu said. What kind of martial arts did he practice? Why did he backlash? Hearing this, Shangwen Jinhong was a little curious about the martial arts that Jin Fihong practiced. Zhuangji Zhen Mogong a very strong magic martial arts, but he got a fragment, so there are sequelae. Jin Fihong has been in seclusion for these years, not only thinking about breaking through to the sea concentration, but also thinking about repairing the Zhuangji Zhen Mogong, Madame Yu said. If you help me get the Yuan Dan and help me take charge of the money gang, then Jin Fihong will die. Even if he steps into the sea to concentrate, I will find someone to help you kill him. In this world, sometimes, money can make you a god, Shangwen Jinhong said. Is that so? Now that Jin Yuding's left arm is lost, you can take the opportunity to become his left arm, and then find a way to get rid of his right arm, and slowly control the money gang. This is too slow. If I get the Yuan Dan, my strength will be able to enter the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. At that time, I can still fight the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. At that time, if I kill Jin Yuding, the money gang will be in chaos, and then I can take charge of the money gang before Jin Fihong comes out of retreat, Shangwen Jinhong said. The reason why he wanted to enter the secret library or the Yuan Dan was to improve his strength. As long as he entered the 8 difficulties of heaven and man, he would use the dragon and phoenix double rings, and he was confident that he could fight the warriors of the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. Shangwen Jinhong, who was speaking, exuded a strong sense of self-confidence. Seeing this, Madame Yu's eyes flashed. I can help you poison the warriors of the 9 difficulties of heaven and man, but I can't kill them. At most, I can limit their strength and suppress their strength to the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. So you need to enter and kill them. I don't know if you can do it, Madame Yu said. The 8 difficulties of heaven and man? No problem, Shangwen Jinhong said. Then wait for my information here. I will find you a chance within 5 days. Madame Yu turned around and left. Not long after Madame Yu left, a figure came out from the dark. Boss, I'll keep an eye on him. It was Jing Wuming who came out. Although Madame Yu's strength is not strong, her poison is not simple. You have to be careful. If there is an accident, don't let her make a sound. Shangwen Jinhong nodded. Although he believed in Madame Yu, he still had to be on guard when he should. If she revealed Shangwen Jinhong's purpose, she would die. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 486, Linkage, Impersonation, Secret Library Action. Jin Wuming left. Shangwen Jinhong continued to drink, and a gray dragon fell down. After checking, Shangwen Jinhong narrowed his eyes slightly. It's just right. I also want to ask you to help me a little, Shangwen Jinhong murmured. For Jin Yuding and his men, Shangwen Jinhong and Jing Wuming alone could not do it, so they needed the help of Bai Chaofei and Muringfu. He knew that these two people were unwilling to be inferior to others, so their cultivation must increase. The next day, in an inconspicuous residential courtyard, Bai Chaofei, dressed in a black robe, walked into it, and then entered the cellar. He walked along a dark passage for a while, and then came out of the dark cellar. Outside was a relatively large courtyard. Muringfu, dressed in white, and Shangwen Jinhong, dressed in brocade, were sitting in it drinking. Brother Bai, please sit down, Shangwen Jinhong waved his hand. Bai Chaofei took off his black robe and sat down. I didn't expect that Brother Bai's strength has improved recently, but I didn't expect that I was the one who fell behind. Shangwen Jinhong looked at Bai Chaofei and sighed, pouring Bai Chaofei a glass of wine. Bai Chaofei's strength actually entered the 7 difficulties of heaven and man, which was a little worse than Muringfu. Boss Shangwen, I just relied on some external forces and just broke through to the 7th difficulty. This time, Bai invited you two to form a linkage with you. You also know that the position of the owner of Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower was obtained by me and the master on my own initiative. Now I have encountered some difficulties, and I can't face it with my strength for the time being, Bai Chaofei said. What about Chu Xiantang? Muringfu said. This time they attacked Nal and Rongayan and were killed, but with the personality of Chu Xiantang, they will attack my Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, no matter what. I don't want to ask the master for support for the time being, Bai Chaofei said in a deep voice. This matter can also be resolved. I will deal with Jin Yuding. When the time comes, Brother Murin will use Chu Xianbai's unique skills to kill Jin Yuding. Then, Chu Xiantang will conflict with Money Gang, and your attention will be temporarily diverted. I am also planning to get the Yuan Dan in the secret vault of Money Gang. Once I get the Yuan Dan, I can enter the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. With the help of the dragon and phoenix double rings, I should be able to fight against the masters of the 9 difficulties of heaven and man, Shangwen Jinhong said. Hearing Shangwen Jinhong's words, Bai Chaofei's eyes lit up. Then let's do this. I'll wait for your news, Shangwen Gang leader, Bai Chaofei said. I'll study Chu Xianbai's unique skills here, Muringfu said. Okay, I wish our plan goes well this time, Shangwen Jinhong raised his glass and said. 2 days later, Madame Yu appeared in front of Shangwen Jinhong. Tomorrow is the chance to take action? Jin Yuding will go to Xianyang Bank tomorrow to investigate the revenue of the latest quarter. He is not in the gang. Moreover, I have secretly poisoned the elder of the secret library with a combination of poisons. As long as you carry this sachet with you, it will trigger the poison in the elder. At that time, his strength will drop rapidly. Madame Yu took out a brocade box from her bosom and gave it to Shangwen Jinhong. Very good. Then I will take action at the same time tomorrow, Shangwen Jinhong said. Hearing this, Madame Yu was stunned. You mean you want to take action against Jin Yuding too? Yes, he should die too, Shangwen Jinhong said. Madame Yu's eyes flashed with surprise. She didn't expect Shangwen Jinhong to take action as soon as he said so. Are you afraid? Shangwen Jinhong said. How could it be? Jin Yuding has not taken action against me, mainly because I am Jin Fihong's medicine slave. But once Jin Fihong breaks through, my identity as a medicine slave will be useless, and I will become Jin Yuding's private slave. I really hope he dies, but I didn't expect it to happen so soon, Madame Yu said. Then you just wait for news, Shangwen Jinhong said. Can I act with you? I can also help you to be a witness at that time. Madame Yu looked at Shangwen Jinhong and said, she is now betting her treasure on Shangwen Jinhong. Once Shangwen Jinhong gets into trouble, her hope will be gone. Okay, Shangwen Jinhong did not object to Madame Yu taking action with him. The next day, Jin Yuding led a group of people to leave the headquarters of the Jiqian gang. After they left, Madame Yu appeared in Shangwen Jinhong's courtyard. Are they gone? Shangwen Jinhong said. We have already set off. We will arrive at Xianyang Bank in about half an hour. We can start in half an hour, Madam Yu said. Let's start now. Shangwen Jinhuang entered the room and took out a human skin mask from his arms. The face of this human skin mask is Qin Shuan, the right arm of Jin Yuding's left and right arms. After putting on the mask, he found a package, changed into Qin Shuan's usual clothes, and walked out of the house. Madam Yu in the courtyard saw Qin Shuan coming out, her expression changed, and she wanted to speak. I am Shangwen He, this is a human skin mask, Shangwen Jinhong said. If you want to enter the money gang, enter by yourself, Shangwen Jinhong said. This time, Shangwen Jinhong planned for a long time to steal the Buing pill. He secretly found someone on the black market to make Qin Shuan's human skin mask. He just wanted to use their identities to get close to the secret vault. Okay, I'll stay here for a few minutes and then leave. Madam Yu didn't expect Shangwen Jinhong to have such a thorough plan. She can enter the money gang with a normal identity. Then I'll go first. Shangwen Jinhong turned and entered the cellar of the courtyard, and walked out of a courtyard not far away. Jinqian gang Shangwen Jinhong returned as Qin Shuan. Meet Elder Qin, the guard at the door bowed and said. Shangwen Jinhong nodded and headed towards the secret vault of Jinqian gang. But after Shangwen Jinhong entered, one of the guards didn't understand and said, Elder Qin, didn't you just go out with the second gang leader? Why are you back again? I guess you're back for something, another person said. After entering Jinqian gang, Shangwen Jinhong went straight to the secret vault where the Yuan Dan was stored. Shangwen Jinhong was very familiar with the Jinqian gang, and soon arrived at the secret vault of Jinqian gang. There were guards outside the secret vault. When they saw Qin Shuan, the guards immediately stepped forward and said, Meet Elder Qin. Qin Shuan was the person Jin Yuding trusted the most, and he had a high status in Jinqian gang. I want to go into the secret vault to see Elder Mu. You open the door, Qin Shuan shouted. The guards did not doubt and opened the door of the secret vault. After Qin Shuan entered the door, the two guards closed the door. After they closed the door, suddenly, a sword flashed in front of them. The two looked horrified, but they had no chance to speak. A sword mark appeared on their throats. The one who attacked was Jing Wuming. Shangwen Jinhong would definitely fight with the elders in the secret vault when he entered the secret vault. The noise would attract attention from outside. Jing Wuming took action and killed the two first. Chapter 487, Killing, Seizing Treasures, and Putting the Blame on Others. At this moment, Shangwen Jinhong was standing in front of an old man in a gray robe in the secret vault. The old man looked at Shangwen Jinhong in front of him with a sullen face, gritted his teeth and said sternly, You are not Qin Shuan, who are you? When did you poison me? Why didn't I notice it? This is impossible. Too much talk. Shangwen Jinhong's aura burst out, and he kicked the ground with his footsteps, and attacked the gray-robed old man with a palm. 7 difficulties of heaven and man. With your strength, you still want to fight with me. Even if I am suppressed by the poison, I still have the strength of the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. The old man roared, his palm turned black, and he slapped Shangwen Jinhong. The terrible power burst out in his palm, causing the air to explode. Boom! The palms of the two collided, and Shangwen Jinhong's body was shaken back. After his feet supported the ground, he stabilized his body. Shangwen Jinhong was blasted out, and the gray-robed old man had a ferocious look in his eyes, and his figure flashed, and he went towards Shangwen Jinhong. With great speed, he raised his palm and grabbed Shangwen Jinhong's head. He wanted to take Shangwen Jinhong's head off. But when he was about to rush to Shangwen Jinhong, a cold light flashed in Shangwen Jinhong's eyes, and a golden light instantly burst out from Shangwen Jinhong's hand. The old man raised his palm and grabbed the light. The moment his palm collided with the light suddenly split into 2. One light collided with his palm. The other light instantly hit his throat. Crack! The joint at the opponent's throat was instantly broken. The golden light that collided with the old man's palm before was shot out again at the moment of being shocked back, hitting the opponent's heart position and breaking the opponent's heart vein. You, the gray-robed old man said this with his remaining strength and fell to the ground. Shangwen Jinhong took back the golden ring, took out a bottle of corpse-dissolving water from his arms, poured it on the opponent, and in the blink of an eye, the opponent turned into a ball of corpse water. Shangwen Jinhong walked into the treasury. Shangwen Jinhong had already found out the location of the Buing pill. He put it directly into his arms, and then packed up some of the pills and treasures that he could take away. The other treasures were too big and not suitable. When he walked out of the treasury, Jing Wuming was standing at the door. The two bodies on the ground had been dealt with. Both parties nodded, Jing Wuming left, and Shangwen Jinhong quickly walked out. After Shangwen Jinhong walked out of the Jinqian gang, a shouting voice was heard in the Jinqian gang, but Shangwen Jinhong had already walked away. Someone is pretending to be Elder Qin, hurry up, teams of people went outside. Some went to Xianyang Bank. The matter of the treasury must be reported to the gang leader. Madam Yu also followed the crowd out. She was a little dumbfounded. She had just entered the Jinqian gang and heard the shouting. Shangwen Jinhong had already got the things. This Shangwen there are other people in the money gang who are his accomplices. Madam Yu's eyes lit up. She did not look for Shangwen Jinhong, but followed the people of the money gang and went to Jin Yuding. She wanted to see how Jin Yuding died. Outside Xianyang Bank, Bai Chaofei and Murengfu were in an inn looking at the street through the window. They waited for Jin Yuding here. I will attack Jin Yuding directly, and you stop the others as soon as possible, Murengfu said. Jin Yuding must die in his hands. Of course, he will use the unique skills of Chu Xiantang Chu Xianba, the heavenly soul extinguishing palm. Qin Chuan's strength is in the 7 difficulties of heaven and man. I can stop him, but it's a bit difficult to kill him. After you kill Jin Yuding, quickly join forces with me to kill Qin Chuan, Bai Chaofei said. Bai Chaofei's strength is at the same level as Qin Chuan, and it is rumored that Qin Chuan has a deep internal strength and is good at stick techniques. He may not be able to take him down quickly. Okay, Murengfu nodded. They are coming, Bai Chaofei said, looking into the distance. At this time, a carriage was coming towards this side. It was Jin Yuding's carriage. Soon, the carriage stopped outside Xianyang Bank. Jin Yuding, dressed in gold, got out of the carriage, followed by Qin Chuan. Qin Chuan had a stern face, wearing a gray robe, and a copper short stick on his waist. The short stick had a mechanism and could be transformed instantly. He followed behind Jin Yuding with a cold look. Qin Chuan often protected Jin Yuding. Of course, the Jinqian gang had some good relations with the major forces in the capital, or in other words, no force was willing to go against money. The shopkeeper of Xianyang Bank was waiting. Let's go in, Jin Yuding nodded and was about to step forward. A figure came towards this side quickly, and the long sword in his hand came towards this side like a spirit snake. Looking for death, at this time, Qin Chuan rushed out instantly, and the long stick in his hand shook and turned into a copper stick nearly 1 meter long, attacking the person holding the long sword. The long stick collided with a long sword. Ling. A crisp sound was made. Just as his long stick and long sword were fighting, another figure rushed over like an explosion, without any body movements, just fast and domineering. He turned and appeared in front of Jin Yuding. He raised his palm and slapped it out. His palm was white and with a huge breath, and it was printed on Jin Yuding's chest. Jin Yuding seemed to have a treasured robe, and his palm power seemed to be hindered, but then he felt a violent palm power penetrate his armor. Bang! The whole body flew backwards, his chest collapsed, and he died tragically on the spot. Seeing this situation, some people in front of Xianyang Bank screamed in shock. At this moment, Qin Chuan's face changed drastically. He shook the long stick in his hand, shaking off Bai Chaofei's long sword. He turned around and wanted to go back to see Jin Yuding's situation. But Bai Chaofei would not miss such an opportunity. The long sword in his hand was like a finger, and a thunder appeared. This thunder passed through the copper stick and made Qin Chuan slap his palm. His whole body trembled. Swish! At this moment, Bai Chaofei pierced the opponent's throat with his long sword. Let's go! Then the two of them showed their bodies and rushed into an empty alley, disappearing from everyone's sight. From killing to leaving, it was really fast. After a while, someone came back to their senses. Oh no, the second gang leader was killed. For a while, the crowd not far away came over in an uproar. When the crowd was in an uproar, many figures of the Jinqian gang came over here, and when they saw the two bodies on the ground, everyone was horrified. One of the elders appeared beside Jin Yuding and checked Jin Yuding's wound. Looking at the palm print on Jin Yuding's chest. Heaven Extinction Soul Palm Chu Xiantang, Chu Xianba's unique skill, the elder exclaimed, and his face was even more angry. Chu Xiantang, you dare to attack our Jinqian gang, the elder roared angrily. Heaven Extinction Soul Palm is Chu Xianba's unique skill. If it's not Chu Xiantang, who else can it be? Madame Yu, who was following in the crowd, was stunned when she saw this situation. She didn't expect that Jin Yuding would die under the Tianmichan soul palm. Chapter 488 Kill the real murderer and become the deputy leader of the money gang. Could it be that Sheng Wenhe is Chu Xiantang's man? But that shouldn't be the case. Jin Fihong is just in seclusion and hasn't died yet. Chu Xianba will not attack Jin Yuding. Even if he does, he won't use the heavenly soul extinguishing palm. I can't see through Sheng Wenhe, but this time Sheng Wenhe's plan really succeeded. I didn't expect it to be so smooth. Madame Yu looked at the two corpses on the ground and thought to herself. There was a light in her eyes. The person I like is really extraordinary. He is decisive and ruthless. Take the bodies of the gang leader and elder Qin back, and notify all the elders of the money gang to go to the meeting hall, the elder said sternly. Some people quickly took Jin Yuding and Qin Chuan away with their bodies. In Shangwen Jinhong's room, Shangwen Jinhong put all the things he got into the dark, removed the human skin mask on his face, and replaced it with Shangwen He's face. Elder Shangwen, at this time, a disciple of the money gang rushed in. What happened? Shangwen Jinhong asked. Something bad has happened to Elder Shangwen. Our secret vault was stolen, and the elder who was guarding the secret vault died tragically. In addition, the second gang leader and elder Qin Chuan were killed outside the Xianyang Bank. I came here to inform the elders to gather in the meeting hall, the disciple of the money gang said. What? Shangwen Jinhong's face changed, showing surprise. Let's go to the meeting hall immediately. Shangwen Jinhong did not delay, followed the disciples of the money gang, and quickly went to the money gang. At this moment, in the meeting hall of the money gang, dozens of elders gathered here. There were two corpses wrapped in white cloth on the ground. In the middle of the meeting hall stood an old man in black clothes with a gloomy face. The aura emanating from the old man was very strong, so that dozens of elders in the entire meeting hall did not dare to say a word. Some elders came in one after another, and like the previous elders, they stood aside. When Shangwen Jinhong came in, Madame Yu, who was already in the hall, looked at Shangwen Jinhong. Shangwen Jinhong stood aside with a calm face, and glanced at the old man in the middle in black robes. Shangwen Jinhong had never seen this old man before. But the aura emanating from his body was definitely in the 9 difficulties of heaven and man, giving him a strong pressure. Madame Yu walked slowly behind Shangwen Jinhong and said in a voice transmission. This person is Jin Fihong's housekeeper. After we came back, he appeared and sat in the meeting room. Madame Yu sent a voice transmission to Shangwen Jinhong. Jin Fihong's housekeeper, that is, the housekeeper of the leader of the money gang. I didn't expect that this housekeeper's strength is much stronger than Jin Yuding, Shangwen Jinhong said to himself. In addition to the leader of the money gang, Jin Fihong, his 2 younger brothers are very weak. The reason why no one touched the 2 brothers Jin and Yuding was mainly because of Jin Fihong. Jin Fihong is a ruthless man with strong strength. Although he is in seclusion, no one in the capital will mess with the money gang. It's just that they offended a ruthless person this time. Butler Yang, I checked the wound. The second gang leader died under the heavenly extinction soul palm. Elder Qin was pierced through the throat by a sword. The person who drew the sword was very fast. Also, over at the treasury, the other party destroyed Elder Mu and 2 guards, but we got news from some disciples that the other party entered the secret vault pretending to be Elder Qin, an elder said. This elder is about 50 years old, and his strength is at the 3 difficulties of heaven and man, but he is an elder of the old generation of the money gang. I also looked at the wound of the Yuting gang leader. It was indeed hit by the heavenly extinction soul palm. You spread this matter to me. I want to see Chu Xianba's reaction, the butler Yang said. Butler Yang, should we inform the gang leader about this matter, Chu Xiantang? With our identities, Chu Xianba will not care about us at all, the elder who spoke earlier said. Not for the time being. The gang leader is in a critical situation recently and cannot come out. Let's investigate the matter first and see how Chu Xiantang reacts. You go back and investigate this matter. Whoever finds clues to the real murderer who killed Yuting gang leader and Elder Qin, I will report to the gang leader and give rewards. Whoever kills the real murderer, I will suggest that the gang leader promote him to become the deputy gang leader of the money gang, Butler Yang said. Hearing what Butler Yang said, a group of people in the meeting hall had a light in their eyes. People in the rivers and lakes. In addition to martial arts, what do they care about most is power. If you become the deputy gang leader of the money gang, you will have power, We will definitely avenge the second gang leader and others, dozens of elders said in unison. Then they quickly walked out of the meeting hall, and Shangwen Jinhong and Madame Yu followed them out. In the hall, in addition to Butler Yang, there were 3 old men who did not leave. Among them was the elder who spoke earlier. There must be someone inside our Jinqian gang who is helping us in this matter. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to grasp the whereabouts of the second gang leader so accurately, but it's hard to say whether the second gang leader's death has anything to do with Chu Xiantang. Although the other party used the Heavenly Extinction Soul Palm, there is no guarantee that this secret skill will be passed on to others. Moreover, when Chu Xiantang's people attack, they will not leave obvious flaws, the elder who spoke earlier said. Perhaps Chu Xiantang wants us to have such an idea. You said that this Heavenly Extinction Soul Palm is Chu Xianba's secret skill. There are no more than 4 people in Chu Xiantang who can learn this palm technique. If it's not him, then who else? Another elder frowned and said. Although he was a little confused, there were not many people in Chu Xiantang who could learn this Heavenly Extinction Soul Palm. Something is a little strange. It seems that someone wants to deal with our Jinqian gang, sort out the forces in the capital that have conflicts of interest with us recently and see if we can find any clues. But when the news of Yuding gang leader Sishan Mi Juhan comes out, I believe Chu Xiantang will move, and maybe they will come to find us. Let's see what Chu Xiantang says first. Yang, the chief steward, said in a deep voice. You also go back and investigate to see if you can find any useful clues. Yang, the steward, said to the people beside him. Yes, several old men also left quickly. After everyone left, Yang, the steward, walked to Qin Chuan's body and carefully examined Qin Chuan's wounds. Now, there are not many clues when checking the wounds on Jin Yuding's body. The swordsmanship is sharp and fast. Qin Chuan made a mistake and was pierced through the throat by the opponent. Such a person must be at the 7 difficulties of heaven and man, and his swordsmanship is profound. Does Chu Xiantang have such a master? If Chu Xiantang has such a master, it is really possible that they did it. They attack my money gang at this time. Is it the intention of the 7th prince? Is this a warning to us? Butler Yang murmured. Jin Yuling had previously cooperated with Lorden, and Lorden wanted to get close to the 7th prince. After Jin Yuling's death, Jin Yuding cut off contact in this regard. That is, he cut off cooperation with the 7th prince. Chapter 489, The Phoenix Dance Enchanting Lady Liu Yu, and the Madman Sima Kuang in Troubled Times. After looking at the corpse and thinking for a while, Butler Yang went to the backyard of the money gang. In the backyard, in a large courtyard, a woman in a purple dress was standing, with long black hair like a waterfall tied up, revealing a charming style. An oval face, delicate features, light makeup, revealing skin as white as snow, almost flawless eyes like autumn water, graceful and charming. The purple dress slightly exposed, showing the delicate collarbone, with a jade hairpin in her hair. The whole person looked bright and moving. Behind her, there were 2 people standing. One of them was a woman with a charming figure and exposed clothes, a black dress showing her fair skin, cold light flashing in her eyes, and she was not easy to mess with. On the other side, a burly man, about 2 meters and 3 meters tall, stood there like a heavy iron tower, exuding a strong murderous aura, with his eyes downcast, as if he didn't pay attention to anything. Butler Yang, who had left the meeting room earlier, appeared in the courtyard, came to the woman, bowed and said, Madam, the only one who can be called Madam in the Jinqian gang is Luo Ziyan, the wife of Jin Fihong, the leader of the Jinqian gang. She was one of the 2 most famous courtesans in Feng in the capital. The purple beauty is half opened and fascinated the capital, and the red dress falls and the world sings. In this poem, Ziyan is the Ziyan in the poem. What can we see from the wound? Luo Ziyan said coldly. Madam, from the wound, the second gang leader did die under the heavenly exterminating soul palm, and Qin Chuan died under the extremely fast sword speed, Butler Yang said. Heavenly exterminating soul palm, then let Chu Xiantang give us an answer, and I asked you to spread the word before. Whoever finds the person who killed the second gang leader will have the possibility of becoming the deputy gang leader. Have you said it out? Reporting to Madam, it has been said out, Butler Yang replied. Okay, I really want to see if there are any masters in my money gang who will appear under this momentum. The money gang is too quiet and has no vitality. The gang leader is now at an important moment of retreat and cannot appear. I am afraid that someone may test the gang leader's situation in this way, so at this time, The money gang must remain fierce, Luo Ziyan said. And you immediately go to Chen Yi building and offer a reward of 20 million taels. No matter what, kill the person who attacked Yu Ting and others first, Luo Ziyan then ordered. I think many people will be tempted by these 20 million taels of silver. Luo Ziyan's eyes were filled with murderous intent. I will arrange it immediately, Butler Yang said. You go to Chu Xiantang and meet Chu Xianba soon. The money gang's reward appeared at Chen Yi building, which caused a sensation in the entire capital. Many people swallowed their saliva when they saw the reward amount, Chu Xiantang, in the main courtyard. Because of the matter of the money gang, Chu Xianba quickly gathered the hall masters of Chu Xiantang. Headmaster, greetings, headmaster. 9 heads of Chu Xiantang stepped in one after another and bowed to Chu Xianba. Chu Xianba's eyes were cold, like a sharp hawk, scanning the 9 people who came in. His eyes were so sharp that everyone's scalp tingled and their hearts palpitated. Tell me about the Jiqian gang and Jin Yuting's matter. Why do the outside world say that it was me, Chu Xiantang, who did it? Chu Xianba asked with a gloomy look. Headmaster, this has nothing to do with us. It was the people of the Jiqian gang who spread it. Jin Yuting's death heaven extinction soul palm. They said it was me, Chu Xiantang, who did it. Headmaster, we should give the Jiqian gang a warning, Lu Bao of Xianmeng Hall said. Master Lu, you can't do that. If we do that, the money gang will think we are going too far and may fight with us. This is obviously a frame-up. Once we fight the money gang, others may reap the benefits, a hall master said. Should we let this storm get worse? At that time, I'm afraid someone will attack us, Chu Xiantang, a man not far from Lu Bao said. This man was dressed in black, with a short knife on his waist and a sharp look. Now is not the time to stay in the nest, we must be strong. If Chu Xiantang does not move, then others will move. At that time, Chu Xiantang may become the target of many people. The capital has always been about the law of the jungle. Once you show weakness, you may become someone else's food. Regardless of whether they are the ones who made the move, you must be strong now. Sitting in the first seat, Chu Xiantang did not move, listening to the conversation of the people below. Suddenly, his face darkened, his eyes turned cold, and he suddenly rushed out of the meeting hall and appeared in the courtyard outside the hall. Ah! Several screams suddenly came out. Then the bodies of several disciples of Chu Xiantang were thrown into the courtyard from outside. The chest of the body was smashed by a palm, and the whole body was bloody. The 9 Chu Xiantang hall masters who rushed out with Chu Xianba all changed their faces. You are so presumptuous, what are you saying? A harsh voice came from the mouth of a hall master. Then a figure leaped in from outside. It was the charming woman next to Luo Ziyan. Master Chu, we are here to come to you, Chu Xiantang, on the orders of the gang leader, and we want you, Chu Xiantang, to give us an explanation, heavenly extinction soul palm, but it is the unique skill of you, Master Chu. You must have a great connection with you, Master Chu, to be able to use the heavenly extinction soul palm. The charming woman looked at Chu Xianba. Phoenix Dance Fairy Liu, you came to my, Chu Xiantang, and killed my, Chu Xiantang, disciples, and you want me to give you an explanation. You really don't take me, Chu Xianba, seriously. Chu Xianba looked at Liu Yu with cold eyes. This Phoenix Dance Fairy Liu Yu and the troubled man Sima Kuang are the 2 strongest subordinates of Jin Fihong. Their strength is second only to Jin Fihong in the money gang. Since Jin Fihong went into seclusion, these 2 people disappeared in the money gang. I didn't expect them to appear at this time. Did Jin Fihong come out of seclusion? Chu Xianba's mind turned, but he said coldly, today I will leave you here, and let Jin Fihong come to me, Chu Xiantang, in person to redeem you. While speaking, a breath of air burst out from Chu Xianba's body. The people of the money gang came to their, Chu Xiantang, and killed his, Chu Xiantang, disciples. No matter what, Chu Xianba must give these disciples an explanation. It seems that the head of the Chu Hall doesn't want to say anything. The charming woman's eyes condensed, and her palm suddenly rose up. Chi chi chi. The sky full of cold stars flashed and shot out from her hands. Going towards Chu Xianba, looking for death, Chu Xianba shouted, and slapped his palms. A strong energy burst out from his palms, blocking all the cold stars that shot out with energy. And slapped it out, heading towards the charming woman. The charming woman retreated behind her when she made the move. Seeing the cold light reflected towards her, as if she had expected it long ago, she moved her hands at her waist, and instantly the snow-white sword light burst out. Clang clang, a sharp sound burst out. Chapter 490, Chu Xianba's Fury, Shangwen Jinhong's Breakthrough. Boom. At this moment, the wall behind her collapsed. A burly figure appeared behind the charming woman. The strong man appeared, kicked the ground with his footsteps, and rushed towards Chu Xianba with his terrifying body. His palms smashed towards Chu Xianba like a heavy mountain. Sima Kuang, the madman of troubled times, I didn't expect you to come too. When Chu Xianba saw Sima Kuang, his face turned cold and he punched out with a black energy on his fist. And the charming woman, at this moment, rushed out like a ghost, and the long sword in her hand turned into a series of residual images and rushed towards Chu Xianba's neck. The two people cooperated very cleverly. Seeing this, Chu Xianba did not change his fist and continued to move forward. But when he moved his body, he cleverly avoided the long sword of the charming woman. Bang! The fists collided, and the Sima Kuang who had made the move was knocked back and hit the broken wall, breaking the wall. Roar! Sima Kuang, who was knocked out by a punch, roared. Angry sea sky fist, Sima Kuang shouted as he punched out. His aura surged. Layers of terrifying power spread out from him. A thick layer of ki appeared on his fist. Seeing this, Chu Xianba's expression remained unchanged, but a strong aura appeared on his body. You are too arrogant. Even if Jin Fihong came, he would not dare to be so arrogant, Chu Xianba said sternly. Previously, he was afraid of Jin Fihong and just wanted to take down Liu Yu, but now these two people dared to fight him. This really didn't take him, Chu Xianba, seriously. Then what should he, Chu Xianba, hold back? As soon as he stepped on the ground, his figure rushed out in an instant and appeared in front of Situ Kuang. He slapped out with his palm and collided with the opponent's fist. Ah! Situ Kuang screamed and blood spurted from the veins in his arm. But at this time, the charming woman Liu Yu waved her palm again, and a black smoke came towards everyone. It's poisonous, retreat. Seeing this, Chu Xianba paused, raised his palm, and slapped out a palm wind, dispersing the black smoke. But the two had disappeared in front of them. General Hall Master, the money gang is too presumptuous. We should take the opportunity to attack the money gang now, Lu Bao said. Teach them a lesson. Don't do it for now, let the people in each hall not move, but if the money gang provokes, then don't be polite. Chu Xianba waved his hand. Each hall, mobilize people for me to investigate who framed me, Chu Xiantang, Chu Xianba said sternly. Yes, the people in the hall left quickly. Come here. After the 9 hall masters left, Chu Xianba whispered. A figure in a black robe appeared in front of Chu Xianba in the courtyard. The black-robed man held a long sword in his hand, with a cold look. General Hall Master, I can draw my sword just now and kill the injured Situ Kuang with one sword, the man said in a deep voice. There is something strange in this incident. If we are not careful, Chu Xiantang and the money gang may suffer a heavy blow. We have to be careful. You investigate secretly. I want to know who is in charge of the money gang now. Although his style today is a bit like Jin Fihong, he has been in seclusion for so many years and has not made a breakthrough. It is impossible for him to make a breakthrough at this time, Chu Xianba said. I will go to investigate now. After that, the man in black with a sword quickly retreated. The storm is coming. I want to see who is causing trouble here, Chu Xianba said in a low voice. At this time, in a secret room in Shangwen Jinhong's courtyard, Shangwen Jinhong sat cross-legged on the futon, took out the yuan den, and swallowed it in one gulp. Then he gathered his mind and began to circulate the qi in his body to refine the pill. As the name suggests, the yuan dan is a pill that replenishes vitality. There is only one in the treasure house of the money gang. It is rumored that Jin Yuding prepared it for himself. It's just that Jin Yuding's own cultivation is too slow. 3 years ago, he spent a lot of money to find 2 yuan dan. After taking one pill, his strength broke through a realm. He thought that he would take another pill after his own cultivation reached the 7 difficulties of heaven and man. Unexpectedly, it helped Shangwen Jinhong. As the qi was refined, the huge medicinal power continued to flow in Shangwen Jinhong's body. Shangwen Jinhong circulated the true qi in his body and began to flow with the operation of this medicinal power, constantly impacting his meridians, forming a cycle, and then flowing towards his danshan. As time went by, this elixir power was like a torrent, constantly pouring into the danshan. A kind of aura formed in the danshan and began to flow back into Shangwen Jinhong's meridians. This power was not as overbearing as before, and there was a very gentle feeling. Shangwen Jinhong's body began to absorb these powers like dry land. At this time, Shangwen Jinhong opened his eyes, raised his hand and grabbed some pill bottles placed not far away. He grabbed them in his hand. He opened them directly and sucked the pills inside into his mouth. These pills were also brought out by Shangwen Jinhong from the secret library. These pills entered the body, quickly turned into medicinal power, and entered the danshan. Time passed by little, Shangwen Jinhong's aura began to change constantly, and the airflow around him formed a storm in the secret room. After a long time, Shangwen Jinhong's aura was all gathered into his body. Shangwen Jinhong opened his eyes, and his face showed excitement. I didn't expect that this time I practiced, I not only broke through to the 8 difficulties of heaven and man, but also reached the peak. I was just a little bit away from entering the 9 difficulties of heaven and man, Shangwen Jinhong said, and adjusted his breath. Shangwen Jinhong walked out of the secret room. In the courtyard, Madame Yu was sitting on a stone platform, waiting for Shangwen Jinhong. After a while, Shangwen Jinhong appeared in the courtyard. Sensing the aura of Shangwen Jinhong, Madame Yu's face was happy. You broke through, Madame Yu asked uncertainly. Of course. What is the situation in the money gang now? Shangwen Jinhong said. The defense inside the money gang has become tighter. I feel like there are several eyes staring at me when I enter the money gang, and today, Butler Yang went to Chengyu Tower to offer a reward of 20 million for the murderer, 20 million taels of silver. This amount of money cannot be used by Butler Yang at all. I suspect that someone else has come forward in the money gang now, but we haven't found out who it is, Madame Yu said. While they were talking, one of Shangwen Jinhong's men ran in from outside. Elder, I just got the news that the leader's bodyguards, Feng Wukiji Liu Yu and the troubled man Sima Kuang appeared in Chu Xiantang, but were injured by Chu Xianba and returned to the gang, the man reported. Before Shangwen Jinhong went into seclusion, he asked someone to investigate the situation outside. Liu Yu and Sima Kuang, Shangwen Jinhong frowned slightly. He had never heard of these 2 people in the money gang. These 2 are the subordinates of the gang leader Jin Fihong. They are the second best in the gang after the gang leader and have been protecting the gang leader, Madame Yu said in a voice transmission. You go down first. I know. This is a reward for you. Shangwen Jinhong took out a silver bag from his arms and threw it to the other party. Thank you, Elder Shangwen. The man took the bag and bowed and left. Chapter 491, Continue to kill and provoke a fight. These 2 people are the people around the gang leader. Do you mean that Jin Fihong has appeared? Shangwen Jinhong looked at Madame Yu with a serious expression. It shouldn't be. Jin Fihong just devoured a group of drug slaves. According to reason, he shouldn't come out. Madame Yu frowned slightly. Is that so? But the Jinqian gang sent people to Chu Xiantang to fight with Chu Xianba, so let the 2 sides fight, Shangwen Jinhong said. You get me the information about Liu Yu and Sima Kuang, especially their martial arts characteristics. You must find out. Shangwen Jinhong looked at Madame Yu and said. From the previous situation, Madame Yu is still on the same page with him for the time being. Then he can also give some information appropriately. Only in this way can Madame Yu be subdued. Hearing Shangwen Jinhong specifically mention martial arts characteristics, Madame Yu's expression moved. She had always wondered in her heart how the person who had killed Jin Yuding before could perform the Heaven Extinction Soul Palm. Now it seems that Shangwen Jinhong has such an imitating master. With beautiful eyes moving, Shangwen Jinhong said this, just to tell her some information in secret. This is accepting her. I will definitely give you the detailed information. I will go back and sort it out now. As a member of the money gang, Madame Yu still knows some information about Liu Yu and Sima Kuang. Her use of poison was actually inherited from Liu Yu. At that time, Liu Yu trained them, and among dozens of people, only 3 survived. Okay, Shangwen Jinhong nodded. Night A secret room. Shangwen Jinhong, Murenfu, Bai Chaofei, and Jing Wuming appeared in it. Master Shangwen, there are actually masters in the money gang. Who are those 2 people? Bai Chaofei asked in a deep voice. The general under Jin Fihong has been guarding Jin Fihong and rarely shows up. Now he shows up. I haven't found out who ordered him to do it, but this time I asked you 2 to come here, thinking about exacerbating the conflict between the money gang and Chu Xiantang, Brother Murin. This is the information of those two people, take a look. Shangwen Jinhong handed the information sent by Madame Yu to Murenfu. Murenfu read it carefully, his eyes slightly condensed, and handed the information to Bai Chaofei. Master Shangwen, you want me to use these two people's martial arts to kill Chu Xiantang, Murenfu said. Only a war between the two sides will benefit the three of us. Master Bai doesn't have to worry about Chu Xiantang's revenge for the time being. The money gang will definitely suffer Chu Xiantang's revenge. At that time, I can show my strength, and Brother Muren, you have contacted the 12th Prince before and want to control the money gang. At that time, he should help me and let me go further in the money gang. Of course, this requires Chu Xiantang to fight with the money gang continuously, Shangwen Jinhong said. No problem. Hearing Shangwen Jinhong's words, Murenfu's eyes flashed. Then I'll have to trouble you, Brother Muren, Shangwen Jinhong thanked. Wait for my news, but we still need to ask the master to send experts to help us, Murenfu said. I received news today that the master has arranged for someone to go to Jiangbei to kill Ho Xingchen, the young master of Huojiazhuang, the first manor in Jiangbei. After killing Ho Xingchen, the person will come to the capital to help us secretly. Bai Chaofei said. Bai Chaofei did not inform Su Chen of the situation here. But Su Chen thought about the strength of the capital and still wanted to send a master. Fu Hongsu happened to be sent to Jiangbei, so he asked Fu Hongsu to come. Is that so? That's good, but we also need to improve our strength, Shangwen Jinhong said. External forces are always external forces, and our own strength must also be strong. Recently, the master is preparing to deal with the Xiangsha League. After destroying the Xiangsha League, he will go to Jiangnan. We are in the capital, and we need to have greater achievements to let the master come to the capital, Bai Chaofei said. Today, Mu Qingxuan from Xianwu Taoist Temple came to my Jinfeng Xiaoyu Tower and asked me to investigate the 13th and 15th princes of the royal family. Although I don't know her purpose, the sword energy on her body is sharp and her aura is very strong. I'm afraid she is at the stage of the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. If you two meet her, be careful, Bai Chaofei said. Xianwu Taoist Temple is indeed one of the holy places of Taoism. The strength of the descendants who came out has reached the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. Murenfu, Shangwen Jinhong, and Jing Wuming, who had been standing by Shangwen Jinhong, all showed surprise on their faces. From the information we got, Mu Qingxuan is about 20 years old. At such a young age, she has reached the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. It can not only show that Mu Qingxuan has extraordinary qualifications, but also that Xianwu Taoist Temple has a deep foundation. It makes people fear. Mu Qingxuan should not have any conflict with us for the time being. We don't need to care about him. First, take down the Jinqian gang and solve Chu Xiantang, Shangwen Jinhong said. Compared with Murenfu and Bai Chaofei, Shangwen Jinhong is more heroic. I'm leaving first. I'm going to kill a few hall masters of Chu Xiantang tonight. Murenfu put on a black robe and walked out of the secret room. Bai Chaofei also turned around and left. An hour later, Chu Xiantang, Foreign Affairs Hall. Duan Muqing's residence. Duan Muqing's face was a little ugly at this time. The matter of the money gang appeared too suddenly. He was still investigating the situation of the Golden Wind and Rain Tower. After investigating the Golden Wind and Rain Tower for a few days, no masters were found, only some disciples. Bai Chaofei has been staying at home recently and rarely appears. It seems that he can avoid their investigation. It seems that I have to go to the Golden Wind and Rain Tower to investigate in person, Duan Muqing thought to himself. Because of the matter of the money gang, the head hall master did not ask him about the situation of the Golden Wind and Rain Tower for the time being. But he must investigate it clearly. In addition, he also needs to investigate who killed Jin Yuding. Although other halls are doing this, it is the responsibility of their Foreign Affairs Hall. It's a bit chaotic. It seems that a bloody battle is inevitable, Duan Muqing sighed. Slowly closed the information in front of him. He turned and left the study. But the moment he walked out of the study, his face changed. The courtyard was too quiet, without a sound. The guards guarding the courtyard disappeared, and Duan Muqing's heart sank. He looked around. In his sight, a figure was standing not far away, looking at him sternly. His black robe dancing in the night, his cold eyes like pearls in the dark night. Who are you? Duan Muqing shouted. You Chu Xiantang people killed my second gang leader of the Jinqian gang. Today I want to avenge our second gang leader, the Black Shadow growled. stepped on the ground, and the ki wrapped around his body, like a meteor in the dark night, rushed to Duanmu Qing in an instant. Boom! A palm slapped out. The palm power was extremely domineering, and Duanmu Qing, who saw this and tried to resist, was broken under this force, and let out a scream, and flew backwards, but the person who came was faster than him, and the wild ki danced, tearing the surrounding air. The palm landed on Duanmu Qing's head. Bang! The head exploded. The black shadow turned and disappeared quickly. Chapter 492, The Passage of Time, Death by One's Own Sword. The moon was bright and the stars were sparse. An alley on the street. An open-air tavern. No one was there. Only a man in a black robe with a short knife on his waist was drinking. Not far away from him, the owner of the tavern was carefully preparing small dishes. The man in black in front of him was his regular customer, who had come to drink late at night. Although he was reluctant to wait for such a customer, he had no choice but to pay a lot of silver every time. Moreover, he knew who the other party was: Chu Xiantang, the head of the Black Flame Hall, Liu Sanshu, the second knife. Compared to a commoner like him, the other party was a big shot. Being able to drink at his small stall definitely meant that he was looked up to. Because such a person often came here. Some people saw him with a flattering look. The alley was unusually quiet today. Rustling. An extremely light sound of footsteps appeared, and the eyes of Liu Sanshu, who was drinking, suddenly became sharp. I didn't expect someone would come to see me tonight. Liu Sanshu put down the wine bowl in his hand, slowly stood up, left a silver ingot and went to the end of the alley. At the end of the alley, a man in black was waiting for him. Liu Sanshu, I really want to see where your second knife is. The voice was low, as if waiting for Liu Sanshu. It seems that you have a big plan this time. I want to know who you are. Liu Sanshu looked at the other party and asked in a deep voice. During the day, Jin Yuding of the Money Gang died under the palm of their chief hall master Tian Mie Zuhan. Liu Yu and Sima Kuang of the Money Gang came to their Money Gang to ask for an explanation and were beaten. At night, someone came to him. He believed that not only he was found tonight, but also someone from other hall masters must have gone there. People are going to die? Do you need to know so much? The man in black looked at Liu Sanshu and said coldly. The man in black was Murenfu, and this Liu Sanshu was the last person he wanted to kill, and he was also one of the 4 people from Chu Xiantang. Of course, Liu Sanshu's strength is close to the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. He is a strong enemy for him to improve his strength. If he kills too many weaklings, he will become a weakling himself, so for the last person, he chose Liu Sanshu, who is one of the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. He is called his second knife, but no one has ever seen his second knife. Or the person who saw his second knife is already dead. When Liu Sanshu heard Murenfu's words, his expression did not change at all. Then let me see if you have this strength. When he spoke, Liu Sanshu moved and appeared in front of Murenfu like a ghost. He used a short knife. If the short knife could not get close, it would not be able to play its advantage at all, so he took the lead and appeared in front of Murenfu. He suddenly shouted, holding the short knife in his right hand, and pulled it out in an instant. The thunder-like knife light exploded like thunder. The speed was extremely fast and the knife was fierce. Murenfu made a move, his palm became a claw, grabbing the wind fiercely, and went towards the opponent's wrist. In addition to being proficient in Dao's Huanxing Yi, Murenfu also knows 100 martial arts, and his moves have some of the flavor of Shaolin Dragon Claw Hand. His palm was full of ki, and it collided with the opponent's short knife. The opponent's short knife was extremely fast and had a strong impact force. It collided with his palm and made a burst of noise. Seeing this, the opponent turned his hand back, and a ki appeared in the short knife, forming a sharp blade light. Murenfu clenched his palm and formed a fist, and hit the opponent's sharp blade light. The air suddenly seemed to explode when the two sides collided, forming a stream of air. The two figures also staggered. Is your strength just like this? You want to attack me with this little strength? Liu Sanshu looked at Murenfu with a cold look. He did not lose the upper hands in the fight. While speaking, his figure rushed out again, and the short knife in his hand slashed towards Murenfu's chest at an incredible angle. Murenfu's eyes condensed, and his figure turned to the back. But the opponent's figure followed him like a shadow. Seeing Murenfu retreat, Liu Sanshu's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Murenfu's eyes were calm as he retreated, without any change. Suddenly, He turned his body and slapped out a huge energy from his palm, which formed a gust of wind and enveloped the opponent. Under the obstruction of this energy, Liu Sanchu's body was blocked, but his energy surged, and the whole person and the short knife in his hand merged into one, heading towards Murenfu. Murenfu was enveloped by murderous intent. Murenfu suddenly felt a tremor in his heart. Then, in his eyes, light flashed, and the energy of Dao Xuan Xingyi in his body flowed. The moment the opponent's short knife appeared in front of him, he directly performed Dao Xuan Xingyi. His palm danced, and without the opponent's eyes noticing, he directly grabbed the opponent's wrist, snatched the short knife from the opponent's hand, and thrust it into the opponent's heart. The action was only in a moment, and the opponent had not noticed anything yet. "You can't make me use the second short knife," Liu Sanchu said. But then he felt a pain in his heart, and found that the knife he stabbed out was stabbed on his chest. How is this possible? How could I be stabbed?" Liu Sanchu looked at the knife on his heart with some disbelief. "Nothing is impossible. Death under your own knife is also a kind of fate. Your second knife should be a mechanism on your short knife, which can instantly turn your short knife into a long knife. In this way, when fighting with the opponent cannot avoid your second knife," Murenfu said coldly. Just when his palm touched the opponent's short knife, he found that the weight of this short knife was heavier than that of ordinary short knives, and there were some mechanisms. Liu Sanchu fell to the ground after saying a word. "Call it a night. I hope that Chu Xiantang and Jing Qiangang will have a big war next. Tomorrow I will go to see the 12th prince to see if I can help Shangwen gang leader find some masters to support him," Murenfu said in his heart, and then his figure disappeared into the darkness. Not long after, the owner of the wine stall came over here and cried out when he saw Liu Sanchu's body lying on the ground. Along with his cry, other halls in Chu Xiantang also cried out. The bodies of the other 3 hall masters killed by Murenfu were also found. Some hall leaders immediately carried the bodies of the 4 hall masters to the main hall of Chu Xiantang. Chu Xianba, who was practicing at night, was interrupted by a series of rapid reports. He appeared in the meeting room of the main hall with a gloomy face. Looking at the 4 bodies on the ground, a ferocious light burst out in his eyes. "How did they die?" Chu Xianba said. "The way the Foreign Affairs Hall Master Duan Muqing died was somewhat similar to the way Sima Kuang, who was injured by the Chief Hall Master today. As for the other 3, one was killed by a sneak attack with his throat pierced, one was killed by a shot on the heart, and the most peculiar casualty was Hall Master Liu Sanchu, who died at the hands of his own dagger. The opponent who could do this should be at least at the level of a heavenly being. Boss, we have met a strong enemy this time." An old man briefly described the cause of death of the 4 people and said in a deep voice. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 493, The Sword-Wielding Madman Yan Shizhen, Baiyun City Lord Yi Guchen. Chu Xianba listened to the old man's report with a gloomy face. "Headmaster, we have encountered a strong enemy, but it may be our chance. We can take this opportunity to rob some of the money banks of the money gang. No matter whether they did it or not, we just need to push it to them, the money gang, and it was there, the money gang, who killed our Chu Xiantang people." Xianmeng Hall Master Lu Bao spoke. "This Lu Bao has always been very radical. Hall Master Lu, the other party obviously wants us to have a conflict with the money gang. If we do this, I'm afraid we will fall into the enemy's trap," the old man said earlier. "Yes," the others also echoed. "Okay, Lu Bao is right about this matter. At this time, we can only take action against the money gang, which is the most advantageous. Mobilize the halls and take action against the money gang. Lu Bao, you are responsible for this matter. I hope you can take down 1/3 of the money banks of the money gang in the capital tomorrow. All major halls must obey the dispatch of Hall Master Lu. Lu Bao, don't let me down." Chu Xianba looked at Lu Bao and said, "Master, don't worry, I will definitely take down 1/3 of the money houses of money gang," Lu Bao said excitedly. "We will definitely help Master Lu to complete the task," others in the hall immediately echoed. Lu Bao's strength has reached the 9 difficulties of heaven and man, and he is the strongest among the 9 halls of Chu Xiantang. There is no problem for him to lead the others. Go down. Chu Xianba waved his hand and said. Yes, everyone quickly left the hall and began to mobilize people overnight. Watching the figures of everyone leaving. You go and keep an eye on Lu Bao. Once you find that he has any unusual movements, kill him directly, no need to report, Chu Xianba said. The figure of the man holding the long sword disappeared in the darkness. Come here, Chu Xianba said. An old man walked in from outside the hall. How is the situation over there, Mr. Lu? Did you catch up with Nalan Rongayan? If not, or if you can't find the other party, let Mr. Lu return to the capital first. Now we, Chu Xiantang, are probably facing the biggest crisis in history. Someone wants to attack us. We need to concentrate our strength. After contacting Mr. Lu, send a visiting card to the 7th Prince. I want to meet the 7th Prince, Chu Xianba said, once he attacks the money gang. He doesn't care about the money gang. But if there are problems in other areas, they need support. Yes, the old man who came in immediately bowed and left. On the other side, the money gang also received the news that the 4 hall masters of Chu Xiantang were killed. In the courtyard, Luo Ziyan frowned. It seems that our opponent is not simple. You just went to Chu Xiantang during the day and were injured by Chu Xianba, and those people took action at night. The other party was able to easily kill Liu Sanchu there. The strength is not simple, Luo Ziyan said in a deep voice. Madam, Qin Zhuang of Chu Xiantang was killed before, and now 4 hall masters have died in a row. It can be said that Chu Xiantang has suffered heavy losses. Butler Yang said. Hearing what Butler Yang said, Luo Ziyan frowned slightly. You said that Qin Zhuang of Chu Xiantang was killed before. Do you know who killed him? Luo Ziyan asked in a deep voice. This subordinate has not investigated it. Chu Xiantang's mouth is tight. We don't know who killed him yet. But I found out that on the day of Qin Zhuang's death, Lu Huayun, who was beside Chu Xiantang, went to the residence of the 7th Prince. As for what he talked about with the 7th Prince? No one knows, madam. Do you suspect that those people might have killed him? Butler Yang said with a slight change in his expression. It is possible. You should investigate the cause of Qin Zhuang's death first, and be on guard against Chu Xiantang. I'm afraid this was directed and acted by Chu Xianba himself. In this case, he might make a move on our Jinqian gang, Luo Ziyan said in a deep voice. Yes, I will arrange it. Butler Yang left the yard immediately. He also notified all parts of the money gang overnight and sent spies to investigate the movements of Chu Xiantang. The next day, when everyone just woke up from their sleep, Chu Xiantang's men began to raid some of the money gang's banks. Although the money gang's banks were well prepared, the other party's gathered strength was too strong. The money gang lost 5 large banks and more than 10 small banks in the capital. The capital has a vast area. The money gang has 20 large banks and more than 100 small banks in the capital. After losing these banks, the money gang immediately sent people to rob these banks, but after the robbery, the accounts and money in the banks were all transported away, leaving an empty shell. Chu Xiantang's business is not a bank, so he will not run a bank. They occupy the bank just to rob money. The money will naturally be transported away after it is robbed. However, this also led to the start of a war between the two sides. The money gang is not weak in strength, and it has formed a confrontation and fight with Chu Xiantang. In this process, Shengwen Jinhong gradually gained some power. In addition, he killed a hall master of Chu Xiantang in a battle, showing the strength of the 5 difficulties of heaven and man and the 6 difficulties of killing heaven and man. He won the appreciation of Butler Yang. He became the director of the northern area of the money gang. The money gang has 5 major regions: the east, south, west, north and center of the capital. It can be said that he is the main core figure of the money gang, and his status is above that of ordinary elders. Shengwen Jinhong, with a step, became the 5 major leaders of the money gang, and his status is only below that of Butler Yang. In the courtyard of Shengwen Jinhong. Madam, you stood in front of Shengwen Jinhong. Your goal has been achieved this time. Now the money gang has no leader, only Butler Yang is in charge, but Butler Yang is not responsible for specific matters. It can be said that your actual power is not weaker than Butler Yang, Madam, you said. This is not the point. I want more than just these. I asked you to find out the news. How are you doing? Who is now in control of the money gang? Shengwen Jinhong asked. I have already found out that the person in charge of the money gang now is Jin Fihong's wife Luo Ziyan. This woman was one of the two most beautiful women in the capital. I thought she was just a pretty face, but I didn't expect that she was the one in charge. Moreover, she was very good at commanding the battles with Chu Xiantang these times. This is not good news for you, Madam Yu said. It's good that it's not Jin Fihong. We don't have enough power to defeat Jin Fihong now. It's great to have Luo Ziyan as a buffer, Shangwen Jinhong said. Haha. Congratulations, brother Shangwen, on becoming one of the 5 managers. While the two were chatting, Murin Fu, dressed in brocade clothes, walked in from outside. Brother Murin, this is. Seeing Murin Fu, Shangwen Jinhong pretended to be a little puzzled. I'm here to congratulate you on behalf of the 12th prince. The 12th prince hopes that our cooperation will be closer. Murin Fu said softly. Shangwen, he has already contacted the 12th prince, or he had contacted him before, Madam Yu thought to herself. Is this brother Shangwen's confidant? I am Murin Fu said to Madam Yu. Shangwen Jinhong wanted to subdue Madam Yu, so of course Murin Fu had to help. Shangate Suchen put down the letter in his hand, with a hint of joy on his face. He didn't expect that Bai Tianyu and others, working together in the capital, would cause such a big commotion. In a few days, Fu Hongxue should be able to arrive in Jiangbei. I wonder how many days it will take Fu Hongxue to kill Ho Xingchen, Su Chen thought to himself. According to the itinerary, Hai Wuya should have returned to the Sea Shark Gang. Has he confirmed the time to take action against the Xiangshe League? Su Chen asked. After Hai Wuya agreed to Su Chen's conditions a few days ago, he returned to the Sea Shark Gang. Now Su Chen is waiting for news from the other party. Not yet? However, there are some problems outside the Great Wall. Pavilion Master Zhu sent a letter saying that they were attacked and the attackers might be from the Kunlun sect. Yuan Su'in said, Kunlun sect? They attacked the East Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion where Zhu Wuxi is. Now the Xianshan sect is led by Zhu Wuxi. Gu Santong is in the Shan Gate. Although Su Chen has an experience card, he also needs a master to prevent the tower from being stolen. Let Zhu Wuxi handle this matter on his own. The Kunlun sect actually appeared, so we will take down the Kunlun sect in this way. The resources and territories outside the Great Wall will be under our control. The rare treasures from the Great Wall will flow into the interior and be under our control. We will have the foundation for money and resources, Su Chen said. Miss Murin from the capital sent a letter asking us to pay attention to the situation in the Ministry of Personnel. Pavilion Master Bai sent a list of people coming this time, including 3 people from the Ministry of Personnel and 2 people from the Pacification Department, a total of 5 people. Among them, we need to pay attention to the left Assistant Minister Qin Qingyi, who came from the Ministry of Personnel this time. The information sent by Bai Chaofei did not find out the strength of this person, but just asked us to pay attention. Should I contact Zaimu Feng here? Yuan Su'in said. He just returned to the capital not long ago, so don't use him for the time being. Su Chen shook his head and said, there's Li Chen's Hao in Longbai County, so there will be no trouble. Su Chen then said. Pay close attention to the movements of the Sea Shark Gang. This time, dealing with the Xiangshe League is also an opportunity for us, King Longhu. I will go to Lingjiang area in person at that time, Su Chen said. Yes, Yuan Su'in bowed and left. The reason why Su Chen wanted to go to Lingjiang district was that he had encountered a bottleneck in his cultivation recently. He also needed to fight and improve his strength from the battle. Then he checked the lottery cards in his mind. During this period of time, he accumulated 2 orange lottery cards. Start drawing directly, get the character Yan Shizhen, get the character Yiguchen, Sword Madman Yan Shizhen, Baiyun City Lord Yiguchen. Su Chen's face showed a look of shock. He didn't expect to get 2 such people this time. The swordsmanship of these 2 people is at the extreme level. I didn't expect that I would have such luck. These 2 people got these 2 people out at once, Su Chen thought to himself. Then he began to check the information of the 2 people. He really wanted to see what realm these 2 people were in. Chapter 494, Concentrating in the 2 Seas, Bai Fengshan Sneak Attack. After Su Chen checked the information, he was somewhat shocked. Yan Shizhen has the title of a swordsman. He practiced the 13 deadly swords throughout his life, and later created the 14th sword. In the final battle with Zizaya Feng, he created the 15th sword, which represents destruction. He could have killed Zizaya Feng with a sword, but he chose to die in the end. It is a pity. The character information is the same as Gu Santong and others, with broken notes, and his own strength has reached the sea of concentration. As for Yiguchen, the Lord of Baiyun City, is one of the 6 characters who have reached the peak of martial arts in Gulong's novel, The Legend of Lu Fen, and is also one of the 10 great heroes in Gulong's novels. A sword comes from the west, and he is like a fairy from the sky. Some people also call him a sword fairy, just like Zimin Chuksa in The Legend of Lu Fen, who likes to wear white clothes. White clothes are better than snow, and people are like fairies in the sky. The fairy from the sky is his unique skill, not the sword of the world. His introduction is the same as Yan Shizen's, with the word broken in the remarks. His strength is also the same as Yan Shizen, reaching the level of concentration in the sea. Is this a big explosion of my character? Su Chen looked at the information of these 2 people and was excited. However, the image of Yiguchen is the image of the character in the novel, which is somewhat different from Yiguchen in the TV series Legend of Lu Fen. In the TV series Legend of Lu Fen, Yiguchen is the first owner of Qingyu Building, who learned Kendo in the East and killed his wife to prove his way. He is ruthless and does not look like a gentleman. When these 2 people are born, I can make another plan in the capital. Yan Shizen can go to the capital to secretly help Shangwen Jinhong, and Yiguchen will stay with me and Li Chen's how to deal with the Xiangshe League. Su Chen thought so in his heart. As for these 2 people, Su Chen does not intend to define them as the head of the dragon. He plans to establish the 10 great masters of Kendo of the Qinglong Club. Yiguchen and Yan Shizen can become one of the 2 great masters. When Liu Xing Yijin and Zhu Yaren's power reaches the level of sea concentration, they can also be included in the 10 masters of swordsmanship. In a good mood, Su Chen stepped out of the room. Now that the strength here has increased greatly, many things can be solved. He doesn't need to be too careful. Although Hai Wei doesn't move, he can encroach on the area near the 9 northern counties and the World Alliance. The weather is getting hotter. There is no cool breeze, only hot wind. There is no one else in the courtyard. Su Chen is going to walk around in the mountain and river gate. Recently, he has been either practicing or triggering some lottery cards, and rarely walks out. Now that the mountain and river gate is under the leadership of Zhu Zhangwo and Xiao Keishu, it is becoming more and more powerful, and the next step is to send some people to the 9 counties to sit in the 9 counties and collect money and resources. For Xiao Keishu, Su Chen feels that the definition was a bit weak when he came out in the early stage. Xiao Keishu is a person who can be compared with Yan Kuang to An Wenshu. Yan Kuang to Su Chen has an experience card here, which has reached the broken level of the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. Compared with them, Xiao Keishu is too far behind. However, Xiao Keishu's talent was there. With the help of the resources of Shenman, Xiao Keishu's strength had reached the 7th level of heaven and man, which could be said to be a rapid progress. As for Zhu Shenhao, his strength was a little worse. He had only recently reached the 5th level of heaven and man. Meet the headmaster. Some people bowed when they saw Su Chen. Su Chen nodded, walked around in Shenman, and returned to his courtyard. The moment Su Chen stepped into the courtyard, he was startled. The next moment, a sword light turned into a phantom and pierced Su Chen's heart. Under this extremely fast sword light, Su Chen had no chance to move at all. The sword light pierced Su Chen's heart. However, this sword did not pierce Su Chen's heart. Su Chen had a golden silk garment on him, and his terrifying body was like iron. Ordinary long swords could not pierce his body at all. Boom! The blood in Su Chen's body surged, and the whole person was like a demon ape, emitting terrifying blood fluctuations. The fist turned into iron, and he punched the person who had made the move. The person who had made the move did not hit the target, and turned around. He did not retract the long sword in his hand, but instead emitted a terrifying sword energy. In order not to alarm the people in the mountain and river gate, he concealed his own aura. Even when he drew his sword, he did not use the sword energy, but thought of piercing Su Chen's heart with one sword. But he did not expect that Su Chen actually had a treasured robe on him, and now there was a strong blood and energy force around Su Chen. Under this blood and energy force, his body had reached the point where gold was as hard as iron. So even if he did not hold back, he might not be able to kill him with one strike. Seeing this, his eyes condensed, and the sword energy burst out, slashing towards Su Chen. However, when he burst out the sword energy, 4 figures appeared in front of Su Chen. These 4 figures slapped their palms and blocked the sword energy bursting out from the hands of the person who drew the sword. The two sides exchanged blows and separated. At this moment of separation, Su Chen punched out from his palm, and the powerful ki with a fierce aura blasted towards the opponent. The man who had just been blocked by the four ghosts of Xiangxi turned the long sword in his palm, and the sharp sword light burst out, colliding with Su Chen's fist. The moment the two sides collided, a brilliant fire and a powerful vibration ki burst out, going in all directions, and the two sides retreated. Su Chen clenched his palm and made a metallic sound. The black boxing gloves, with a terrifying and fierce aura permeated, combined with Su Chen's own magic cracking skills, made people dare not underestimate it. Green evil blood refining hand, I didn't expect Li Chenshao and the others to send this fist to you. The man looked at Su Chen with fierce murderous intent in his eyes. You recognize this glove? It seems that you are from the World Alliance? Who are you? Su Chen's eyes condensed and looked at the other party. Just now, the other party attacked him by surprise. If he exploded all his ki, he would not die, but he would definitely be seriously injured. Bai Fengshan from Xiangxi League. The person who attacked looked at Su Chen and said, I didn't expect that it was the most mysterious Bai Jijian from Xiangxi League. What a pleasure to meet you. Su Chen's eyes narrowed slightly. He was a little surprised that a master like Bai Jijian would come to kill him. You are the young leader of Qilin Club, and the masters around you are not simple. It seems that I can't kill you today, but you have been targeted by me. The next time I attack, you will die. Bai Fengshan turned around and was about to leave. But when he turned around, the four ghosts from Xiangxi around Su Chen instantly merged into one and attacked the other party. Since you are here, how can you leave? You underestimate me, the young leader of Qilin Club, too much, Su Chen said coldly. The four ghosts from Xiangxi appeared for a short time, but they also used elixirs to improve their strength by one realm. Now they are able to fight even if they can reach the Danshan Transformation C realm. Bai Fengshan's strength is not bad, but he will definitely not be in the stage of concentrating in the sea. Bai Fengshan was speechless when he saw this. He knew that if he wanted to leave, he would probably need to fight fiercely. The ki in his body circulated, and an invisible sword energy burst out from him. The sword was like the sad wind, and suddenly a sense of sadness filled the courtyard. The sharp sword energy followed this sense of sadness and went towards the four ghosts of Xiangxi. Chapter 495, Yan Shizhen, the 10 Great Sword Masters, pierces his throat with a sword. The four ghosts from Xiangxi were also very angry at this time. When the opponent attacked just now, they were not able to detect the opponent's breath in the first time, allowing the opponent to stab with a sword. So the four of them did not hold back at all, and the surging ki burst out from their palms like waves. At this moment, Su Chen stood aside, watching the battle between the two sides. The fight between the strong can learn a lot from it. The figures of the four ghosts from Xiangxi were like ghosts, and they were quick in their palms. When the opponent drew his sword, the four figures united to block the opponent's sword energy, and then separated to attack. The ki swept across the courtyard. Within 10 meters, only figures were seen flying, smoke and dust were flying, and fallen leaves kept appearing and flying. If ordinary people stood by, they would probably be hit to death by the ki. Huh? At this time, 3 figures appeared in Su Chen's courtyard. Yuan Su Ian, Xiu Shenhao, Zio Qiushu. Master, seeing Su Chen standing aside, he immediately stepped forward. I'm fine, you don't have to attack, this person is very powerful. Master, do you want to notify Gu Santong? Yuan Su Ian's voice sounded in Su Chen's mind. Su Chen shook his head. He could kill this person at any time. Yan Shizhen and Yi Guchen could kill him at any time. Bang! Bang! Although Bai Fengshan's swordsmanship was sharp and his moves were sure to kill, the four ghosts of Xiangxi had ghostly movements. The four sometimes joined hands and sometimes separated to entangle each other. Bai Fengshan couldn't leave. Damn it, I didn't expect the combined attack of these 4 people to be so difficult, Bai Fengshan said in his heart, his eyes condensed. The longsword in his palm was flowing. Autumn wind and falling leaves, the world is sad, and the sword is everywhere, boom. Bai Fengshan shouted, slashed with a sword, and the sword shadows scattered and attacked the 4 people, but the 4 people instantly merged into one. It's time, huh? Instantly, Bai Fengshan's figure suddenly rose up, and the longsword in his hand slashed out, turning into an aurora and heading towards the 4 people. Boom. The 4 ghosts from Xiangxi punched out to block the sword, but their figures were also shocked back. At this moment of shock and retreat, Bai Fengshan's eyes turned, and his figure turned into a residual shadow and headed towards Su Chen. However, the figure of the four ghosts from Xiangxi appeared in front of Su Chen, slapped out with a palm, and blocked his sword. It seems that I really can't kill you, but you can't do anything to me either. Bai Fengshen looked at Su Chen with a normal expression and said coldly, I can't kill these four people around you, but I think when these four people protect you, I'm afraid they can't protect them. Bai Fengshen looked at Yuan Su Ian and others while talking. When Yuan Su Ian and others heard what the other party said, their eyes condensed and their faces looked a little ugly. They didn't expect that the other party would use them to threaten Su Chen. Really? Do you think I only have four people protecting me, since I dare to live in Shenmen? Do you think I don't have any tricks? Su Chen said coldly. Hearing Su Chen's words, Bai Fengshen said with a cold expression. He looked around and his mind began to become highly focused. Suddenly, he trembled all over and felt a terrifying sword energy in the courtyard. He had never noticed this terrifying sword energy. It seemed that this terrifying sword energy only appeared when Su Chen's voice fell. This shows that this person has been here for a long time. He looked in the direction of the terrifying sword energy. Behind Su Chen, a man in black clothes and with a cold face appeared. The man held a long sword in his hand and looked at him. Seeing the other party's eyes, Bai Fengshen was startled. The eyes were arrogant and cold, with a breath of death. This breath of death was not emitted from the other party, but he felt his own death when he saw the other party. His heart was throbbing. Who are you? He looked at the other party with an unusually solemn expression. I didn't expect that there would be such a master around Su Chen. Qinglong Society, Yan Shizhen. Yan Shizhen stepped out and looked at the other party in silence. Yan Shizhen was not a talkative person, but for a person who was going to die under his sword, he was not stingy to tell the other party his name. Yan Shizhen, not the dragon head. Hearing Yan Shizhen's introduction, Bai Fengshen was startled. This person who appeared was not the dragon head of the Qinglong Society. Boom! While he was talking, he attacked Yan Shizhen. Yan Shizhen put too much pressure on him. If he didn't make a move, he believed that he might not have the chance to make a move. All the strength in his body was poured into the long sword. His body also moved. He moved his sword energy, and his body became one, turning into a terrifying sword light and heading towards Yan Shizhen. Yan Shizhen looked calm. His body also came out, and the long sword in his hand slashed out, cutting off the sword intent of the man and the sword. Bai Fengshen, who was cut off by a sword, paused. When he wanted to move again, his body was already under the sword of Yan Shizhen. The extremely terrifying sword intent swept his whole body, and the shadow of death was like a mountain pressing on his head. He instinctively felt a kind of fear. A fear like death. He couldn't react. He was angry in his heart. He had already reached the realm of Danshan turning into the sea. He couldn't accept being suppressed by the opponent's sword. He tried his best and barely raised the long sword in his hand to resist Yan Shizhen's sword. However, swish! Yan Shizhen's long sword repelled the long sword in his hand, and finally stabbed his neck with a sword. You are so powerful. Why are you not the dragon head of Qinglong Club? What are you in Qinglong Club? Bai Fengshen, who was stabbed in the throat by Yan Shizhen's sword, asked. He asked the doubts in his heart. The light in his eyes gradually disappeared. One of the 10 sword masters, Yan Shizhen said. The 10 sword masters, that is to say, there are 10 people with the same strength as you. Bai Fengshen's eyes were horrified, and the last remaining light bloomed. He seemed to see the leader of the World Alliance. Leader, maybe I'm wrong, Bai Fengshen said, and his body fell to the ground. Sort of sadness, Bai Fengshen. Su Chen looked at Bai Fengshen who was lying on the ground and shook his head. This Bai Fengshen's strength has reached the level of Danshan Transformation C, which can be said to be an outstanding talent. But it's a pity that he came to assassinate him. And he also met Yan Shizhen, whose strength has reached the level of concentrating the spirit in the sea. It can only be said to be a pity. He raised his hand and held the long sword of Bai Fengshen in his hand. He said to Yuan Su Ian, this Bai Fengshen should have appeared in Longbai County, and the new governor of Longbai County should have died in his hands. Let Zhu Yaoren take this sword back. If the people from the capital are not relenting, then use this sword to kill some people and put the blame on Xiangxi League. You can deal with Ibai. You don't need to establish a name, but you can also make a grave for him, Su Chen said. Bai Fengshen's strength was recognized by Su Chen. Strong people need to be respected. My lord, we four failed to protect him. Please punish us. At this time, The 4 ghosts from Xiangxi knelt in front of Su Chen. The 4 of them protected Su Chen, but they did not notice Bai Fengshen, who was lying in ambush. This person is very powerful. He has reached the state of Danshan, turning into C, and can attack in secret. Although the 4 of you can fight him together, your energy and spirit are still far behind him. Su Chen waved his hand. Chapter 496, Hainan Chamber of Commerce, Sects Island, South China Sea Soloist. It was normal that the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi could not detect the strength of Bai Fengshen, so he did not mean to blame the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi. I will find some special treasures to enhance the strength of the master and the subordinates, Yuan Su Ayan said at the side. Yuan Su Ayan's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Su Chen was the one who gave him a new life, but today he was attacked by Bai Fengshen of World Alliance. If the opponent was stronger, then Su Chen would be in trouble. This is something he absolutely cannot allow. World Alliance is already on his must-kill list. Who is Yuan Su Ayan? Like Yaguchen, he is one of the 10 great heroes under Gulong's novels. It is definitely not easy for such a person to target a force. Okay. You go back first. I'm fine here. Su Ayan, help Mr. Yan understand the situation here. Su Chen nodded and waved his hand. Yes, Yuan Su Ayan nodded. Mr. Yan, after understanding, go to the capital. They need your help. Also notify Bai Chaofei, Shangwen Jinhong, and Murenfu, and let them collect treasures at all costs and do their best to improve their strength. Notify Zhu Wuxi to deal with the Kunlun sect that appeared, and let Gu Santong return to Xianshan to try to take down the Kunlun sect in a short time. Unify the frontier, and collect resources, Su Chen said. Although Bai Fengshen did not cause him any harm, it must have brought him a certain crisis. Therefore, to improve the summoned characters and their own strength, they cannot rely solely on the lottery, but also need to use the resources of this world. Territory and power are the foundation. Subordinates will go and make arrangements immediately. Yuan Su Ayan and others bowed and left. After a while, in a wooden house in the back mountain, Yuan Su Ayan came to Zhu Yan with Bai Fengshen's long sword. This is the BG sword of Xiangxi, Bai Fengshen. Bai Fengshen just assassinated the master, Yuan Su Ayan said in a deep voice. What? Hearing this, Zhu Yiren's expression changed. My lord, nothing happened, but this World Alliance dared to attack the lord, and must be killed as soon as possible. My lord asked you to go to Longbai County. If someone from the court comes and they have other ideas, you can use this sword to kill some people and put the blame on World Alliance, but I hope that when Mr. Zhu goes to Longbai County, he will first go to Sea Shark Gang, and use this sad sword to kill the young leader of the Sea Shark Gang, Hai Wuya. In this way, the Sea Shark Gang in Dugu Wei will speed up the treatment of World Alliance, Yuan Su Ayan said coldly. Okay, I will leave today. Zhu Yiren nodded. World Alliance dared to attack Su Chen, so it must be destroyed as soon as possible. Killing the young leader of the Sea Shark Gang is the best way now. That's troublesome, Mr. Zhu, be careful. The Sea Shark Gang is not simple, Yuan Su Ayan said. Don't worry. Zhu Yiren took the sword, said goodbye to Yuan Su Ayan, and immediately set off to the Sea Shark City in the Lingjiang area. After saying goodbye to Zhu Yiren, Yuan Su Ayan returned. At this time, Zhuge Zhengwo was coming. Mr. Zhuge, Yuan Su Ayan greeted. General Manager Yuan, the people from Hainan Commercial Bank came to our Shanmen and wanted to hold an auction in our Lingnan County. The people are already in the hall, waiting. I will go to report to the headmaster, Zhuge Zhengwo said. Nanhai Chamber of Commerce? Why did they come to our northern 9 counties? They have never appeared in our northern 9 counties before, Yuan Su Ayan said in a deep voice. The Nanhai Chamber of Commerce has more or less the shadow of the great General Wang Duguiwo. Could it be that Duguiwo held this auction in Lingnan County in order to win over our Qinglong society? Let's go to see the headmaster together. Yuan Su Ayan and Zhuge Zhengwo went to see Su Chen together. Su Chen heard Zhuge Zhengwo's report and his idea was the same as Yuan Su Ayan's. Let's go and meet the person in charge of the Hainan Chamber of Commerce, Su Chen said. Inside the main hall of Shan Gate, a woman in a red phoenix embroidered long skirt sat in the main hall, holding a glass-carved teacup, looking very calm. The woman in the red skirt had high hair and a flying phoenix hairpin in her hair. She had a pretty face, a pair of bright eyes, rosy lips, and tender skin. She was about 27 or 28 years old. She could be said to be a young woman with extraordinary charm. This person was Hu Liu, the person in charge of the Nanhai Chamber of Commerce, who came to the 9 northern counties this time. She was also one of the 3 vice presidents of the Nanhai Chamber of Commerce. When she entered the Shan Gate, she looked at the disciples of the Shan Gate along the way. The disciples were average in strength, but full of vitality, and there was a hint of rigor in their vitality. Of course, this was not very attractive to her. After all, she had seen many forces, and she didn't take the current strength of the disciples of the Shan Gate seriously. She was curious about Su Chen, the current head of the Shan Gate. The young leader of the Qinglong Society, the overlord of the martial arts world in the 9 northern counties. There were footsteps. Hu Liu looked at the door. Su Chen, Yuan Su Ian, and Zhu Zhangwo walked in from outside the hall. So young, Hu Liu was slightly surprised when she saw Su Chen, who was in the lead. Although she knew that Su Chen was not very old before she came, she was also surprised when she saw Su Chen. Su Chen looked like he was only in his early 20s. But she didn't dare to underestimate Su Chen, because Su Chen exuded a sense of oppression and majesty that no one dared to underestimate. Her eyes missed Su Chen and fell on Yuan Su Ian behind Su Chen. Seeing Yuan Su Ian, her heart trembled slightly. The other party looked very young, but he gave people a kind of gloomy fear. Su Chen was assassinated today. Yuan Su Ian was in a bad mood, and he had murderous intentions. He didn't hide this murderous intention. When Hu Liu was investigating Su Chen also looked at Hu Liu, his eyes slightly startled, and he was amazed. Compared with the women he had seen before, this woman in red dress was more charming and seductive, or a young lady's style. If she tried to seduce men, I'm afraid many people would fall for her. Meeting Master Su, I am the owner of Hainan Chamber of Commerce, Hu Liu. Hu Liu stood up and saluted Su Chen. Manager Hu, please sit down. Su Chen asked the other party to sit down, and he sat opposite him. Zhu Zhangwo and Yuan Su Ian stood on both sides of Su Chen and did not sit down. Seeing this move, Hu Liu's eyes moved slightly. From this point of view, Su Chen's status is not ordinary. Yuan Su Ian and Zhu Zhangwo, she investigated before coming here. These 2 people should be members of the Qinglong Society, staying in Shanmen to help Su Chen. I don't know if Manager Hu is talking about holding an auction in Lingnan County. I don't know if there is anything we can help with. Su Chen looked at Hu Liu and said, I came here this time to hold an auction in cooperation with the Shan Gate. Half of the proceeds from this auction will be given to the Shan Gate. Of course, I also hope that the Shan Gate can maintain the safety and publicity of this auction. Hu Liu's voice was soft and charming. This was not a temptation from the technique, but the temptation of the voice itself, or it could not be said to be a temptation, but a fatal flirtation. A flirtation that would make a man fall. Su Chen calmed his mind. Give us half of the profits from the Shan Gate. We don't seem to have such a good relationship with your Nanhai Chamber of Commerce. Su Chen would not believe that pie would fall from the sky. Master Su, one of the items we are auctioning this time is the colorful coral from the South China Sea, 3 Immortals Island. 3 Immortals Island, one of the 3 island owners, Namhae Duso, is on his way. Hu Liu said, 3 Immortals Island, Namhae Duso. Su Chen checked the situation of the 3 Immortals Island in his mind. Chapter 497, Robbing this batch of goods, Sea Shark City, Sea Shark Gang. Sanxin Island, one of the 3 most famous islands among the 18 islands in the South China Sea. There are 3 island owners. The first island owner is Longzia Ocean, the dragon of the South China Sea. The second island owner is Wei Pingai, the strange demon of the South China Sea. And the third island owner is Xiao Gongku, the lone old man of the South China Sea. Hu Liu said that the lone old man of the South China Sea is Xiao Gongku, the third island owner of Sanxin Island. To be one of the most famous islands in the South China Sea, Sanxin Island is very powerful. It is rumored that the 3 island owners entered the 9 difficulties of heaven and man 20 years ago, and the outside world is not sure what their current strength is. Shopkeeper Hu, you have given me a difficult problem, and made us offend Sanxin Island for no reason. Su Chen looked at the other party and said coldly. This is set by the seller. I can tell you that the seller of the 7-color coral is from the General's Palace. As for our coming to Lingnan County to cooperate with Master Su, it was also the General's Palace that made the connection. The reason, I don't know very well. It was our president who talked to the General's Palace, Hu Liu said calmly. Their Nanhai Chamber of Commerce has been doing business in the Nanhai, the capital, and the Jiangnan region. They have never been to the 9 northern counties, mainly because the benefits do not meet their requirements. However, she received the instructions from the president to come to Lingnan County to cooperate with the Qilin Club and auction the colorful corals previously obtained from Sects Island. This colorful coral is magical and unusual. It will emit a dazzling light at night, just like a night pearl, but this is not the most peculiar thing. It is rumored that this colorful coral can analyze some martial arts secrets under certain circumstances. It is a rare treasure. Of course, only the 3 island masters of Sects Island know how to analyze martial arts. The general's palace. Chen frowned slightly when he heard Hu Lei mention the general's palace. Is this testing the strength of our Qilin Club, or adding opponents to our Qilin Club? Chen thought to himself. I wonder if Sect Master Su agrees with our cooperation. Hu Lei looked at Chen and said. This time, in addition to the colorful corals, I want to know what else is there, Chen said. This is the list of items we are auctioning this time. Master Su can take a look first. If Master Su agrees, we will send the items to Lingnan County. Hu Lei took out a list from her bosom and handed it to Chen. Chen took a look at the list of items to be auctioned, and his eyes moved slightly. This batch of items to be auctioned was very valuable, and there were some precious medicines that could improve his skills. His eyes did not move, but he had an idea in his mind. I wish us a happy cooperation. Xiangman, I'm waiting for your auction. Chen stood up and said. Hearing Chen's words, Hu Lei's face was calm. This list was given to her by the president himself. The items in it were extraordinary. If the auction was completed, the benefits would be considerable. She believed that Chen would choose to agree to cooperate with him. I wish us a happy cooperation, then Master Su, I will go back and prepare first. We will meet in Lingnan County in half a month. After Hu Lei finished speaking, she saluted Chen and left the palace. Mr. Zhuge, please send Master Hu off, Chen said to Zhuge Zhengwo beside him. After Zhuge Zhengwo sent Hu Lei away, Chen said to Yuan Suyan, I don't like others to plot against me. Find out where this batch of goods is now and rob them all. Chen had already made such a plan when he saw the list, so he agreed to the cooperation proposal of the South China Chamber of Commerce. He was going to rob the batch of goods. And you don't have to worry too much about the Sea Shark Gang. Half a month is just to test the strength of our Qilin Club. This is to control our Qilin Club, and send a message to Hai Wuya. If there is no news within 3 days, the cooperation will be terminated, Chen said coldly. My lord, Hai Wuya will die in the next few days, so we don't need to contact him. When I met Mr. Zhu before, I asked him to go to Sea Shark City when he returned to Longbi County and kill Hai Wuya with a sad sword. I believe that with the knowledge of the Sea Shark Gang leader, he knows who killed Hai Wuya. In this case, I believe they won't wait any longer, Yuan Suyan said. Hearing Yuan Suyan's words, Chen couldn't help but sigh. Yuan Suyan is indeed a heroic figure in Gulong's novels. He even killed his allies for his own goals. It's also the fault of the Sea Shark Gang for not being sincere in discussing cooperation. I will go and investigate the situation of that batch of goods first. Yuan Suyan bowed to Chen and said goodbye. Night. Lingnan County in a room of an inn. A man in black was standing respectfully beside Hu Lei. Vice President, the news has been passed back to the Lingjiang area. The goods will be transported to Lingnan County starting today. It will take about 7 days for the goods to arrive in Lingnan County, the man in black bowed and said. The time the man in black said was half of the time Hu Lei gave Chen, and it seemed that he was also on guard against Chen. Okay, in the meantime, let's find a place to store the items first. Once the items arrive, I will go to Shan Gate and discuss with Chen where to auction them. Then wait for a while before moving the items over, Hu Lei said. Vice President, I don't understand why it's just an auction, but it has to be so complicated, the man in black asked in confusion. It will take half a month for the people from 3 Immortals Island to arrive in Lingnan County. How can we achieve the intention of the president and others if we start the auction in advance? Hu Lei said. Have you investigated around the inn? Are there any spies from the Mountain River Gate? Hu Lei asked. I haven't found any spies from the Mountain River Gate, nor have I found out any actions from the Mountain River Gate, the man in black said. Don't be careless. This Chen is not only the head of the Mountain River Gate, but also the young leader of the Blue Dragon Society. We can defend against the Mountain River Gate, but we may not be able to defend against the Blue Dragon Society. We still have to be careful, herald Tianyu said. Don't worry, Vice President. We have been very careful here and will not show up in the city, go down. Everything will go according to plan, herald Tianyu said. After saying that, the man in black bowed and jumped out from the window. I hope this auction will go smoothly. But the president is not too close to the general's palace this time. The general has been recalled to the capital, and his power in the South China Sea will inevitably weaken. There is no need for our South China Sea Chamber of Commerce to get so close to him, herald Tianyu murmured. But why is the general's palace testing the strength of the Qilin Club? Herald Tianyu also had doubts in her heart. 3 days later, at night. Sea Shark City. Zhu Yiren, who was dressed in black and wearing a bamboo hat, followed the people on the road at night and entered the Sea Shark City together. The city was brightly lit and looked very prosperous. Although it was at night, the crowds flowed and the prosperity of the night market could be felt. The restaurants, inns, and brothels were all brightly lit. Zhu Yiren, who was dressed in black and wearing a bamboo hat, did not attract much attention. Because many people in the world are like this. Zhu Yiren can find the location of the Sea Shark Gang without anyone's guidance. Because the tallest building in Sea Shark City is the Sea Shark Gang. The Sea Shark City is named after the sea shark, which shows the Sea Shark Gang's rule over the Sea Shark City. No matter what, the Sea Shark Gang is the second most powerful force in the Lingjiang area and is qualified to rule some cities. Compared with other people, the disciples of the Sea Shark Gang know where Hai Wuya is better. He doesn't want to stay here for too long. Chapter 498 Hai Wuya's Loan, Killing with One Sword. Sea Shark City. Inside a house. Zhuang Zuanji was looking at the account book in her hand. She has been sorting out the banks in the Lingjiang area recently. Sea Shark City is the territory of the Sea Shark Gang. The Zhuang family also has a large bank here and has many transactions with the Sea Shark Gang. However, the bank in Sea Shark City is the one she and Su Chen had traded with in the early stage, so she had to check some accounts first. Of course, she came here to wait for news from the Ho family bank in Jiangbei. Miss, there has been no news from Jiangbei for such a long time. Do you think the Qilin Club has failed? The maid next to her said. Even if it failed, there would be news from there. It should be that they haven't made a move yet. Zhuang Zuanji put down the account book in her hand and said calmly. As long as they haven't made a move yet, it doesn't mean they have failed. Duh. At this time, a maid appeared outside the door. Miss, Hai Wuya from the Sea Shark Gang is here to meet you. I didn't expect that the young leader of the Sea Shark Gang knew about her arrival as soon as I arrived in Sea Shark City. It seems that someone in our bank leaked my news. Zhuang Zuanji frowned slightly. She came here secretly just to check the accounts to prepare for the transaction, and didn't want to alarm others. But just one day after arriving, the young leader of the Sea Shark Gang came to find him. It is conceivable that it is unlikely to be peaceful next. Let's go and meet this young leader of the Sea Shark Gang. Since the other party is here, Zhuang Zuanji still has to meet him. After all, this is the territory of the Sea Shark Gang, and the other party is the second force in the Lingjiang area. Although it is a world of difference from the World Alliance, it cannot be underestimated. Zhuang Zuanji brought two maids to the front hall of the courtyard. Hai Wuya, dressed in a brocade blue robe, was sitting in the hall. In the hall, there was a faint smell of sandalwood. Zhuang Zuanji, wearing a veil, walked into the hall from the door with lotus steps. Seeing Zhuang Zuanji entering the hall, Hai Wuya's eyes lit up. Although Zhuang Zuanji was wearing a veil, her graceful and beautiful figure was revealed. Her every move was filled with a gentle temperament and charm. Her figure was exquisite and undulating, and the white long skirt made her look even more gorgeous and moving. With the exposed skin as a foil, people couldn't move their eyes away. Hai Wuya collected his mind and retracted his gaze. He thought to himself, the third beauty on the heavenly fairy list is indeed different, but I don't know how beautiful her face is under the veil. Hello, Miss Zhuang. Hai Wuya stood up and said. Young Master Hai, please take a seat. I wonder what you are here to see Zuanji for. Zhuang Zuanji looked at Hai Wuya in front of him. Her voice was soft, and she called herself Zuanji, revealing a sense of closeness. After Hai Wuya sat down, he said, this time I came to see Miss Zhuang, mainly because I want to trouble Miss Zhuang with one thing, that is, We want to borrow 20 million taels of silver from the Zhuang family's bank." Although he admired Zhuang Zuanji's beauty, Hai Wuai also knew the purpose of his visit this time. Hearing Hai Wuai's words, Zhuang Zuanji's eyebrows moved slightly. 20 million taels of silver is not a small amount. Normally, it is possible to mobilize all the banks in the Lingjiang area to make up this amount. But now the banks in the Lingjiang area have been reserved by Su Chen. If I take the initiative to mobilize the silver in the Lingjiang area, Su Chen may think that I have the intention of draining the bank. It is extremely detrimental to their cooperation. Miss Zhuang, we can borrow from your bank at the market price of 1 times, for 3 months. After 3 months, we will pay this money plus interest to your bank in one lump sum, and our Heisha gang will take out our Heisha city and other city industries as collateral, Hai Wuai said. In theory, I can't refuse the proposal of Master Hai Xiao, but for such a large amount of money, I need to ask my father for instructions, Zhuang Zuanji said in a deep voice. The money houses in this world are not just about exchanging silver, but also about depositing silver and lending. Exchanging silver means exchanging silver bills into cash, and then exchanging them with a court to get the difference. This is why there are silver bills from other money houses, or general silver bills. Then I'll have to trouble Miss Zhuang. Tomorrow I will host a banquet in the Sea Shark Yang to entertain Miss Zhuang, and by the way, I will help Miss Zhuang introduce some leaders of the forces in Sea Shark City, Hai Wuai said. Money houses are just like banks. They also need certain connections. The more connections you have, the more silver you can deposit in your money houses. Master Hai Xiao, I'm here to check the accounts. I may not be free for the time being, so thank you for your kindness, Zhuang Zuanji said. The purpose of her coming here is to check the accounts so that she can hand over to Su Chen at that time. She doesn't want to show up for the time being, so she declined Hai Wuai's invitation. Is that so? Then I will wait for good news from Miss Zhuang, and I will not disturb Miss Zhuang here. Hai Wuai's face was calm, and he did not show any displeasure on his face because of Zhuang Zuanji's refusal. He stood up and bowed slightly, then left. Zhuang Zuanji stood up and sent Hai Wuai out of the hall. Looking at Hai Wuai's leaving figure, Zhuang Zuanji frowned. 20 million taels of silver, this is a large amount of money. Why does the Sea Shark Gang suddenly need so much silver? Zhuang Zuanji was a little confused. But she did not intend to explore it further. She needed to contact Xia Pang and let Xia Pang contact Su Chen to see if she could do this business. Outside the courtyard, on a carriage, Hai Wuai walked into the carriage. In the carriage, there was also a woman in a black dress. The woman was gorgeous and half lying on the couch in the carriage. Her figure was extremely charming. It gave people the feeling that she was charming and a beauty of her generation. When Hai Wuai entered the carriage just now, he lifted the curtain, and the breeze blew, and the black long skirt moved with the wind, immediately outlining the perfect and sexy body clearly. Master Hai, I wonder if Zhuang Zuanji is as beautiful as me. The woman looked at Hai Wuai who came in and said in a delicate voice. I haven't seen her true face, but in terms of figure, Zhuang Zuanji is still not as good as Miss Liu. However, Zhuang Zuanji did not immediately agree to my loan. She said she wanted to ask for instructions. This back and forth request may take a long time, which may delay our plan, so Miss Liu, you can take action, Hai Wuai said. Master Hai, you really don't know how to be gentle with the women, the half-lying Miss Liu sat up and said softly. In front of the imperial plan, all beauties are just skeletons, Hai Wuai said calmly. Okay, I will let Zhuang Zuanji agree to your deal. After that, Miss Liu jumped up, turned into a black shadow, and rushed out of the carriage. The carriage did not stop and continued to move forward. Suddenly, a flash of sword light passed by, and the driver's hand stopped moving, and then his body fell to the ground. Inside the carriage, Hai Wuai's face froze, and he rushed out of the carriage. But at the moment he rushed out of the carriage, a black figure suddenly appeared beside him. Seeing this, Hai Wuai's face changed drastically, and he shouted in a low voice. Raging Sea Divine Art, Raging Sea Shocking Fist. A huge blue energy screen appeared around him, and this energy screen formed a defense like a wave. And he clenched his palm into a fist and punched out. The fist was like a tsunami in a storm, covering the newcomer. The 5 difficulties of heaven and man broke out in full force. But the man in black who appeared drew his long sword out of his sheath. With a sword thrust out, the sword light pierced through Hai Wuai's fist, pierced his energy screen, and finally pierced into his throat. A sword pierced through the throat, looking at the long sword at the throat. A trace of surprise flashed in Hai Wu Ai's originally dim eyes. "Bai Jian, you are Bai Feng Shan." When he said this, the long sword was withdrawn. The black figure before turned into a residual shadow and disappeared in the crowd. After a short calm, some people exclaimed. They recognized who was killed. The young leader of the Sea Shark Gang. The young leader of the Sea Shark Gang was stabbed to death in the Sea Shark City. This is definitely a big deal. And some people also vaguely heard the words, Bai Jian, Bai Feng Shan. Chapter 499, Gui Hai Yi Dao, whoever touches the master's things will die. Bai Jian, Bai Feng Shan, no one has seen it, but the martial artists in the Lingjiang area have all heard of it. The number one swordsman under the seat of the leader of Xiangxia League. No one has seen him, and those who have seen him are dead. Bai Feng Shan killed Hai Wu Ai, the young leader of the Sea Shark Gang. What does it mean? It means that Xiangxia League may take action against the Sea Shark Gang. When some people were thinking about it, a group of Sea Shark Gang disciples appeared beside Hai Wu Ai, and when they saw Hai Wu Ai without a breath, their faces changed drastically. "Quick, take the young leader's body back to the Sea Shark Gang," the disciple said nervously with a pale face. A group of people quickly transported the bodies of Hai Wu Ai and the coachman to the headquarters of the Sea Shark Gang. At this time, the charming woman who separated from Hai Wu Ai appeared in Zhuang Zuanji's house, and turned around. Under the night, only a vague figure was seen, and quickly went to the study where Zhuang Zuanji was. Zhuang Zuanji returned to the study room with a hint of doubt and continued to check the account book. She needed to speed up the progress, check the account, and connect with Su Chen. Hai Wu Ai borrowed 20 million taels of silver, which was definitely not needed by Hai Wu Ai himself, but by the Sea Shark Gang. What do they want to do with this large sum of money? It has been lingering in Zhuang Zuanji's mind, making her heart a little restless. Bang! At this time, the sound of something hitting the ground sounded in the courtyard outside the study room. Zhuang Zuanji's face changed, and she followed her maid and rushed out of the study room. A corpse was lying on the ground. The sound just now was the sound of the corpse falling to the ground. Xiaohan, the maid next to Zhuang Zuanji, saw the corpse on the ground and couldn't help but go to the corpse. Is it a deep sisterly love? At this time, a cold voice sounded in the courtyard. Then a black figure fell from the air, and his palm grabbed the maid's head like a sharp blade. Mr. Li, seeing this, Zhuang Zuanji immediately spoke out. Suddenly, a gray figure appeared in the courtyard. It was an old man in a gray robe. The old man kicked the ground, and his figure shot out, slapping the black figure with one palm. However, the black figure turned his other hand, and dozens of black lights shot out, sweeping towards the gray-robed old man who slapped. Seeing this, the gray-robed old man turned his body to avoid a black light. But at this moment, the black shadow's blade-like palm had already pierced into the maid's head. Blood flowed from her fingers, and she waved. The body was thrown towards the gray-robed old man, and his figure followed the body and slapped it. The gray-robed old man had just dodged the black light, and when he saw the body coming towards him, he slapped it. The palms of the two collided, and the body of the maid exploded directly, and blood and flesh sprayed in the courtyard. After one blow, the black figure fell. The enchanting figure, shining with the moonlight, exuded endless charm, and looked at Zhuang Zuanji. But the blood and flesh on the ground revealed a deep coldness. "Who are you? We don't seem to have offended you." The gray-clothed man Li Lao looked at the enchanting woman in front of him and said solemnly. Just now, the opponent's strength was not weaker than his. "You didn't offend me. But you didn't agree to Hai Wu Ai's matter, so you offended me, but we really need your money," the enchanting woman said coldly. "We don't agree to your loan, so you kill people." Zhuang Zuanji's face was full of anger. She didn't expect it was because of the money. "Yes, I won't kill anyone." "How can you agree, Miss Zhuang? I want to confirm when you can transfer the silver to Heisha City. Think it over before answering. If you answer wrong, I think your beautiful face may be scarred." When the enchanting woman spoke, she ran her finger over her lips. The blood on her finger was faintly flowing, revealing a sense of coldness and cruelty. The gray-robed old man next to Zhuang Zuanji condensed his eyes and said in a cold voice, "It seems that we are going to have a battle." He stepped forward, and the ki energy circulated around him. "Which, beat me first?" the gray-robed old man shouted, and a violent ki energy appeared around him. The ki energy flowed like a tide, and the key energy of the 8 difficulties of heaven and man burst out. Bang! The old man kicked his body, and his body shot out violently, and a green dragon shadow appeared in his palm. Slapped the enchanting woman. Old thing, you don't know how to be gentle with women. The enchanting woman changed her body shape and turned into a black shadow, without colliding head-on with the old man. The old man took a strong root, slapping his palms and circulating his ki, but he could not hit the other party. The other party's body shape was like a butterfly, and there was a special smell around his body, which affected his mind. Seeing this, the old man's heart trembled. His body shape could not keep up with the other party. Judging from the other party's skills, his body shape was much higher than his. The other party also had a charming spirit, which made his movement slow down. If this continued, he would lose sooner or later. Chen knew Tianmei. At this time, the enchanting woman shouted in a low voice, and her body shape transformed into several women in revealing robes, surrounding the old man. "Miss, you leave first," the gray-robed old man gritted his teeth and shouted when he saw this. But then a trace of obsession appeared in his eyes, and sniffed. At this moment, the enchanting woman's palm was like a sharp blade, piercing the old man's heart. "I didn't expect that after being poisoned by my Tianmei poison, you can still resist until now." Retracting her hand, the charming woman said coldly. Then she looked at Zhuang Zuanji. "I think you have no one to rely on now, so just gather the money, maybe you can leave alive, otherwise, I think there are many people who want to spend a night with you." The third most beautiful woman on the heavenly fairy list, hearing the words of the woman in black, Zhuang Zuanji's face turned pale. She didn't expect that she would encounter such a thing when she came to Heisha City. Even if she gathered the money, I'm afraid the other party would not let her leave easily. "I gave the bank in Lingjiang area to a big shot. If you kill me, you will die too," Zhuang Zuanji said coldly after calming down. She can only use Su Chen as an example to see if she can make the other party afraid. "Don't play tricks on me like this. Big shots, no matter how big they are, can't save you," the charming woman said, but at this moment, the charming woman's face changed, and the hair on her body stood up instantly. A feeling of extreme fear and palpitations appeared in her heart. She felt that she was shrouded in a great danger and death. She looked around, trying to find out where the danger came from. In her sight, suddenly, a black knife light, like a bright comet in the night, broke through the night and appeared in front of her. She tried to block the knife, but her energy was shattered like glass under the knife, and she couldn't stop it at all. Swish! After the knife light, a man in black clothes holding a long knife appeared in the courtyard. The man had a cold face and his eyes were even more cruel and ruthless. Looking at the charming woman, he said, "Anyone who touches the master's things will die." The voice was cold and shuddering. "Who are you?" The charming woman looked at the man in black, wanting to know who the other person was. But when the voice fell, her body exploded directly and turned into a pool of flesh and blood. Seeing this scene, Zhuang Zuanji was stunned. The charming woman who killed people one after another was killed by the other party with one knife. And the other party just said, "The master's things." "Excuse me, who is the master you are talking about?" Zhuang Zuanji said with some stuttering. "My master is Su Chen, the young leader of the Azure Dragon Society, and my name is Haiyudao. Sea Shark City is no longer safe, I will take you away." After speaking, he stretched out his hand and grabbed Zhuang Zuanji, and flew away. Chapter 500, Quick Attack, Split in Half. Outside the city, Zhuang Zuanji looked a little embarrassed, and she was carried out of the city by Gui Haiyudao. Looking at Gui Haiyudao wearing a bamboo hat not far away, there was a hint of complaint in his eyes. "Why did the streets in the city seem a little chaotic when we just left the city?" Zhuang Zuanji calmed down and said. "Hai Wuya was killed, a sword pierced his throat. Wait for a while, the city will be even more chaotic," Gui Haiyudao said in a deep voice. As for who killed Hai Wuya, Gui Haiyudao knew. Although they are not on the same system as the Qinglong Society, they are clear about the personnel information of the Qinglong Society. What's more, Zhu Yiren came to Zhuang Zuanji's mansion first, and the two met. As for why he was able to sign up just now, it was mainly because they were spies under the East Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion. Outsiders don't know the names of spies. Even if the East Pavilion attacked the Xianchen sect, at that time, they did not reveal their true identities in front of outsiders. What's more, he just chopped the body of the enchanting woman with a single blow, and no one else could detect the trace of his knife? What? You said Hai Wuya was killed? Zhuang Zuanji was horrified when she heard the news. Hai Wuya had just approached her to discuss alone, and he also sent someone to attack her. In this situation, Hai Wuya's death, she has now escaped from the city. The people of the Sea Shark Gang must think that Hai Wuya's death has something to do with her. Don't worry, Hai Wuya's death should not be traced to you. They know who killed him, but the woman I killed should have a complicated background. I believe the people of the Sea Shark Gang should look for you. Sea Shark City is no longer safe. You can't stay here anymore. Gui Hideo looked at Zhuang Zuanji and said. Will you always follow me? Zhuang Zuanji looked at Gui Hideo and said. I am following you to protect your safety temporarily and ensure that the transaction between the master and you is completed. Don't complete the task, and if something happens to you, the transaction cannot be completed. According to the time calculation, I think Ho Xingchen should die in these few days, Gui Hideo said. Hearing Gui Hideo's words, Zhuang Zuanji's face showed joy. The bank in Heicheng is a large bank in the Lingjiang area. I haven't checked the bank's accounts yet. I can only trade after I finish. I agreed with manager Zhu that we will hand over the bank's land deed here in 3 days, Zhuang Zuanji said in a deep voice. Is that so? Gui Hideo frowned slightly when he heard this. Wait here for a while, Gui Hideo said, and his figure quickly disappeared in front of Zhuang Zuanji. What is he going to do? Seeing Gui Hideo leaving, Zhuang Zuanji was startled. After a while, Gui Hideo reappeared with a black robe and a bamboo hat in his hand. Put on this clothes, and we will return to the city. Gui Hideo handed the clothes in his hand to Zhuang Zuanji. But suddenly, Gui Hideo's eyes condensed. He looked in a certain direction. There was a swish 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 sound, and then 2 figures appeared in front of Gui Hideo and the others. One of them was wearing a half-face mask, and his body was as burly as an iron tower. He held a bronze mace in his hand and looked at Gui Hideo fiercely. As for the other person, his face was pale, like a zombie. His eyes were sinister, and he sneered at the corners of his mouth, looking at Gui Hideo and Zhuang Zuanji. You want to leave after killing Yaoji? You are dreaming, Zhuang Zuanji, the third most beautiful woman on the heavenly immortal ranking. I am very interested in you. I want to play with you tonight, brother Don. It is important to do business. Kill this kid first, and then take Zhuang Zuanji away, the burly man said. It seems that there is something on us that allows you to catch up so quickly, Gui Hideo said calmly. They had just left the city and had not stayed for long when the other party found them. It can be seen that they have something that the other party can track. Boy, you dare to kill Yaoji, I will smash your head today. The aura on the burly man surged, forming a strong aura, and his eyes stared fiercely at Gui Hideo wearing a bamboo hat. Boom! The aura on his body formed an air wave, like a tidal wave, with amazing power. The king-long mace between his palms was tightly clenched. The figure went towards Gui Hideo. Ling! When the bronze mace in his hand blasted out, Gui Hideo slashed out with a long sword in his hand, and the sword energy collided with the opponent's bronze mace. The bronze mace in the hand of the burly man collided with the sword energy, and his body was knocked back several steps. However, when the burly man retreated, the man surnamed Gon, who had a sinister look before, jumped and grabbed Zhuang Zuanji. This black-robed man was Zhuang Zuanji's guard. If Zhuang Zuanji was captured, this black-robed man would be afraid to use his weapon and would do whatever he wanted to do. Although they did not stay in the courtyard for a long time, they still saw the flesh and blood of the demon girl bursting, and knew that the opponent's swordsmanship was strong and domineering. The palms stretched out, as black as ink. The sinister man practiced poison skills, and when he approached Zhuang Zuanji, the smile on his face was vicious and cruel. Seeing this, Gui Hideo turned around and wanted to intercept. But the burly and domineering man who was chopped away by him before, kicked the ground again, and his strong iron tower-like body rushed out. When he rushed out, the skin of the burly man's body began to change, and the veins on his body bulged, like a boiling volcano. A hot and violent breath burst out from the other party's body. The burly man seemed to use some trump card, and the blood and ki in his body suddenly rose, and the momentum rose step by step when he rushed out. The bronze mace in his hand, under the effect of this blood and ki, turned into a blood-colored dragon, shaking the space, making a roaring sound, Boom boom boom. At this moment, the burly man's own strength ball surged. The body collided with the air, making a thunderous sound, and the surrounding airwaves rolled, and the mace shadow rushed towards Gui Haidao. Fierce and violent, Gui Haidao was shrouded. A cold flashed in Gui Haidao's eyes. The ki flowed around his body, and he raised his long sword. He clenched his hands and slashed with his sword. The sword energy was like a wave and went towards the burly man. However, after the sword was slashed, Gui Haidao's figure disappeared on the spot. You are still far from being able to catch someone in front of me. Gui Haidao's voice appeared in the ears of the sinister man. Hearing the voice, the sinister man was stunned. But then a sense of fear came over him. Why are you here? When his voice fell, a sword whistling sound appeared in his ears. Along with the sword whistling sound, a sword light appeared in front of him. The sword light appeared and covered the sinister man's vision, and the palm that was grabbed could not help but pause slightly. Then he wanted to continue to extend his palm. But there was an extreme chill in his heart, and a shadow of death appeared in his heart. Swish! He felt a pain in his brow. Then the whole person lost consciousness, and there was a look of fear and disbelief in his eyes. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.